made on Facebook the other day about being a submissive woman. They were saying that a submissive woman controls her man, and I agree with that. I think until we begin to talk in honesty and transparency and stop pandering to both sides, especially to the sisters, because there is so much entitlement, and because men have been quiet for so long, and it's been the men that has been quiet were the type of men that y'all really need to be listening to. The men that doing the most talking ain't the ones, they don't have nothing to say anyway.
What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Kandid Konvos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. People today, they lazy. Ain't nobody trying to put in no work. If stuff start getting a little rough in the relationship or in the marriage, ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. Like, I mean, that's how people's mindsets are today. Yeah, but that's how I know that folks don't truly understand what marriage was about, because they tap out way too easy. Yeah, you see people fight harder for a job, like they can't go get another one of them in 2 weeks. Yeah, she's talking about these guys coming to these foreign countries and sourcing out these foreign women because they possess these character traits. Yep, they're more cooperative when it comes to a man, or they're more cooperative when it comes to a marriage and a relationship. They're more, nurturing forward when it comes to a relationship. They're more I don't even want to use the word soft, but I'll use the word soft. They're softer when it comes to, these relationships and interactions with men and so forth. And like I said, we definitely got to be honest. We see a difference, right? We see a difference. And I think, Chloe and Tay made some good points earlier. A lot of this stuff is based around money over here in the West. What's good, everybody? Welcome back. Put the mic together, man. Mic way out the way. Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Coco on deck. Say what's up to the people, Coco.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back.
Welcome back, man. Shout out to everybody joining us tonight. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Likes are free. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Likes are free. Man, hit that share as well, man. We want the shares. We want the subscribes. Hit the notification, man. Do all of that. So, man, let's say drop what you're doing right now, man. Smash that like button. Hit that share as well. Hit that subscribe, man. Let's say help us take us to the next level. Let's say we're trying to increase our exposure. We're trying to reach more of our people. And the only way to do that is by you doing your part. So, man, smash that like button, man. Likes are free. Likes are free. All right, we got Vince on deck. We got Cole on deck as well. Going on with y'all today? Y'all good?
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. What's going on with you, man? You all right today, man?
Free Diddy.
You know what? We're gonna touch him for a hot minute while we in this conversation. Hold that thought. Let me write that down for a minute. All right, we're gonna come back to Diddy. Hold that thought, man. All right, shout out to y'all once again joining us tonight. Let me do this real quick while I'm thinking about it. Let's see. All right, here's the link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. If you're coming through Apple device, come on through your Apple device. Man, join us on the panel, man. Get in on this great conversation. I said we want to hear from everybody. I don't care about age, gender, experience. It don't matter. Yeah, but everybody come to the conversation. That's the only way we're going to move in a better direction. So once again, here's the link in the video feed. We also have this link in all the chat feeds as well. So you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook. And like I said, join us on the panel. I'll leave this link up here a little bit as we get into the conversation. I heard somebody else pop up. I think that might be, was Cole. She just dropped off. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and do this. We'll get right to it. We ain't gonna hold it up tonight. So topic for tonight. What went wrong with black men and women? Man, what ain't went wrong, man? Goodness. Man, topic for tonight. What went wrong with black men and black women? Okay. I said, anybody need the link, let me know. I'll get it back to you. I'll put it back up in the feed, but it's in the chat feed. So grab that, join us on the panel. Like I said, if you do want to come up, you got to show your face real quick. Let us know it's you. We got to know it's real before we let you up. And then we'll get you up on the panel. You can say what you got to say. Get it off your chest. Let me check in and see who's in here early. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Donovan in the building. He said, what's up? What's going on, Donovan? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight, holding us down. Man, shout out to Kenyatta in the building. She said, happy Wednesday. Appreciate you hopping on with us, sis. Always holding us down on the platform. See, JR just hopped on. Hoodied out. What's going on, man? You all right, man?
Yeah, the sun's gone. It's a bit chilly now. We had about a good 30 degrees, something like that for about 3-4 days.
Man, okay. Well, I guess
you were bragging last week.
Sorry.
You were bragging last week.
Well, I guess back to reality ago, I guess.
All right, we just getting started, man. We just getting started. All right, so we got a couple who came over tonight. We got a new young lady that got sent over. Actually, she got two in here. Explicit lyric. That's the content creator, explicit lyric. Okay, we'll see what she got to say. There's a couple videos down here. We'll start with somebody just popped on. I'll let you handle it. We'll start with number one.
Some lady that had a baby with Lil Boosie was on the internet bragging about how you need to choose your baby daddy wisely and how the right baby daddy does this, and that. And all the people in the comments was like, yeah, that's right, girl. And I'm up here looking like, y'all ain't never heard of no husband? I will never, ever be the friend that's going to high-five somebody into a divorce. My friends, for the most part, know they can't come to me complaining about their damn marriage. Because I'm like, girl, you don't want this life. The reality of it is, in the black community, we don't value marriage. And it's showing in every area and aspect where we struggle. We struggle with household earnings. We struggle with income. We struggle with purchasing a home. We are the lowest demographic in terms of home ownership, where we only purchase at a 44% clip compared to other cultures that are well above 70%. And it's not because of granddaddy's money. It's because they're married. I saw a statistic that said in the state of Florida, you need about $97,000 of salary to buy a house. And for a family of four, $217,000. If I am Little Miss, I make $64,000 a year and I have 3 kids and nobody's getting child support. Somebody's needs are not being met. And it's just basic math. I don't care how prideful you are about it. I don't care how you side hustle, and I don't care how you lie to yourself about how you're so comfortable and you're so good with managing money. You can't be. It's literally mathematically impossible. the biggest regret that I have in my life is that I did not take marriage seriously. It wasn't really like on my to-do list. I was never like I gotta have a husband, and not even no like, oh, I'm a strong black independent woman sort of way. It just wasn't on my to-do list, and I hate that for me. I hate it a lot. So if you're out there and you're listening, get you a husband. It's really a cheat code.
Man, okay. Well, we talking tonight, man. These folks. So yeah, we talking tonight. What went wrong with black men and women? Okay. Well, y'all all saw the video. Y'all saw what the young lady said. She dropped a couple gems in there. See, Kenyatta said, baby daddy, that's where they went wrong. I hate that term. I hear it every day at work. Yeah, no, it's just running rampant out here, Kenyatta. It's running rampant. She also said, not a cheat code. Yeah, no. She might be saying something right there, Kenyatta. She might be saying something. See, Donovan said, folks fear and run from long-term commitment. They like the freedom. They like the freedom in variety. I don't know, Donovan, till they burn them up, man. I don't know.
Literally.
All right, I'm coming back to the panel, man. Coco, Vince, Beatbox in the building. What's going on? JR. Y'all want to say anything about what the young lady said? Was she making some sense? Was she marketing? What y'all say? I see you off, Coco. You want to say something?
I was just gonna say she's right. I mean, in my personal experience, and in the experience of other women around me who are also married, it is a cheat code. Like, I don't understand this soft life movement. Like, I don't understand the soft life movement that y'all think y'all having by, you know, I'm single and, oh, I just love it here. I just love it here. And it's like, yeah, I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a single person can come and explain it to me. I'm willing to listen. I want a different perspective because perhaps I just don't understand because I am married and I've reaped the benefits of being married. So maybe that's what it is. So maybe someone can articulate it for me and explain it to me. But from the outside looking in, I don't see how you're living a soft life just for the very reasons that she explained in the video. I don't see it. Because I'll quote Vince because it's a valid quote. Like, imagine doing 100% by yourself. And then a man comes along and he could, even if he can only do 50, now you that other 50 that you were handling on your own, you no longer have to worry about that anymore. That's soft life. You having to do it by yourself and then actively choosing to want to do everything on your own simply because you can. That's soft life. Like, it's confusing to me. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Yes, you have to. Yes, now instead of planning a meal for one person, you're planning for two people, and if you have kids, you know, a few more. Yes, you know, if you instead of cleaning a place for just yourself, you clean it for another person. But I mean, is that really such a big deal? That other individual is an adult. Like, I mean, I don't get it personally. I don't get it. And I shout out to her though for being single and saying that she's not going to be the one friend that influences her married friends to divorce. Shout out to her for being that, because we were talking about that last week. Like, this is what's happening. So I agree with everything she said.
Okay, I appreciate that right there. Anybody else want to go? Just come off and you go ahead, Vince.
I think what happened was maybe in the 60s and 70s when the feminist movement came about, and when we as African Americans started to believe that it was not in our survival to be married. we had better marriage rates under the Jim Crow South,
right,
than we have right now. With all these freedoms, with all this independence, we had more marriage rates under Jim Crow South.
facts.
And I'm starting to understand that we have to understand this is second, third generation of unmarriage, of fathers not being at home. This has become our culture. This is what we are known for. The Black woman is known for being a strong, Black, single woman. If you look it up in dictionary, it's going to be a Black woman's face.
Facts.
You even have Michelle Obama now, who is married to one of the greatest Black men in America, complaining about being married. Oh, it was so hard for me. I couldn't be me. I couldn't find myself, my worth. He was married to the president, most powerful man in the world. If he can't get his woman to act right, and one thing I often tell people, and then I'm gonna let it go. I lived in a lot of cities all over Michigan. And it wasn't necessarily the wealthiest cities. I lived in Allen Park. I lived in Dearborn. I lived in Melvindale. I lived in Detroit. And the only thing that was different in better communities was marriage. The only thing different in the schools were married parents. That was the glaring difference.
Facts.
But seems like we don't want to put 2 and 2 to make 4.
Yeah, no, that's real right there. Now you bring up a valid point, Vince. Here, when you when you walk into the schools, if it be parent-teacher conferences, if it be for a game, it don't matter. I have to agree with you. That is the instant difference that you see. Yeah, you see families, you see pops, moms. You know, you might even see the little dog with them, and then you go into other areas, and it's just all these single folks. You know what I'm saying? These individuals, you know what I'm saying, with kid. Yeah, so now you make a valid point, Vince. Yeah, and I think that that's definitely something we got to change. But yeah, the schools definitely showcase how bad it is or how serious it's gotten over the years. So now I definitely agree with that. I don't know if anybody else want to say something. Beatboxer Joe, JR, anybody, if you good, just stay on mute. Come off mute if you want to. Go ahead, Joe. You there, Joe? Yeah, we can't hear you, Joe. Yeah, I'll come back to you. We can't hear your audio right now, Joe. You might have to drop off and come back home, man. Anybody else right now? Beatboxer JR, y'all good? Okay. You want to try it again? You want to try it again, Joe? Yeah, I still can't hear you. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, let me add this because I said a couple things that I heard. Listen, okay, Joe gonna drop off. A couple things that I heard that definitely. So one of the first things that I heard that she said was that Black folks are purchasing houses at a 44% clip. You know what I'm saying, in comparison to some other communities. That's alarming. Yeah, that's alarming hearing right there. And I'm not hearing that right there. And I'm not even concerned about why you purchasing. Because I said, I know people got their reasons. If it be for a family, if it be for investment, you know what I'm saying? You may be running the business out of the home and you just need it for that. So I know everybody got their reasons. But 44% in comparison to these other communities, that's a little concerning. Yeah, that's a little concerning. And that definitely says that there is a financial piece that is lacking. There's probably a credit / support piece that is lacking. And then too, there may just be a confidence piece that is lacking. Yeah, because we gotta, like I said, we gotta consider that. Yep. Over the years, we've gotten the opportunity to learn that we have always been stronger in numbers. Yep, and that applies to relationships as well. You can do so much in a relationship when it's two of you. Yeah, versus when it's just one person. And I'm not saying that one person can't achieve things or make things happen. We've all seen it happen. Yeah, but it's so much easier to make things happen when you are in a relationship or you have some support from somebody. But we talking relationship and marriage at this point, right? But when you have somebody backing you or supporting what you're doing, it's so much easier to make it happen. Yeah, I mean, you can be pivoting over here, building, doing what you're doing while this other person, you know what I'm saying, handling the operations. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes in a single scenario, that's not going to happen. Yeah, you ain't going to be able to take care of operations and then be, you know what I'm saying, you know, kind of transitioning or moving your money into the business venture, whatever else you got going on the side, you're trying to, you know, get off the ground. Like, that's not always the easiest thing to do by yourself. Then you factor in debt and all of those other things. So just the power in numbers piece of it, I think, is important. And I'm not sure why we keep pulling the priority or dimming the priority of the importance of having support, you know what I'm saying, and working as a team. I said, we all know that. I said, the power is always in teamwork. The second thing is, the young lady said, and I said, this is really an important one. The young lady said that she regrets not taking her marriage or taking marriage seriously. How many people do y'all think right now is in this scenario?
All of them.
Man, that's
Agreed. I think they all.
bro.
I think they all regret it. You can't tell me they don't.
No, for real. That's kind of where I'm going with this. Yeah, because I said I appreciate the young lady keeping it honest. I said, because she, you know what I'm saying, she didn't pull her accountability up out of there. She just like, man, I regret not handling that how I was supposed to handle that. And it's just like, yeah, but I guarantee it's a whole bunch of people out here right now who feel the same way that she just articulated, but they will never say it in public.
Quay, I know so many ladies I talk to passed up on their college sweetheart, passed up on that good guy when they was 26, 27, because they felt like he wasn't enough or they could do better. And parents preach that.
They do.
Don't get married too young. Make sure you got yourself together before you get married. And sometimes, if you're a professional, I talked to a young lady the other day. She had 10 years of schooling.
For what? What position she in?
Nurse, because she went and got her bachelor's. She went and got her bachelor's, and then she went to nursing school, and then she went and got her MP. It was 10 years altogether. And I said, so you really put yourself on the back burner for 10 years because you can't really. She couldn't. People do it all the time. I know a lot of my Arab Indian doctors married while they were in school, and they did it. But we can't seem to prioritize and do two things at one time. Because I got to have myself together before, because I'm not going to be like my auntie or my grandmama or grand, and you don't even know grand story, for real.
Right.
And then they never want to hear, because we all have a sweet time. For men, it comes a little bit later.
Right.
It comes after we kind of know what we want to do. It comes after we have a focus, a goal in mind. Maybe if you're smart, if you really got it together, maybe late 20s, early 30s. But for women, you got that sweet spot, and they don't want to hear this. Between maybe 22 and 27, you can get any man you want to. You get the older man, you get a man your age.
That's facts.
I've been there. I was at Floods on a Wednesday at 24, and them just got out of college girls was talking to the lawyers and the judges.
Thanks.
And I'm sitting up there like, well, I guess I gotta wait my turn.
Then
Yeah, that's real.
That's for
Say that
real.
again, B-Box.
I said then that wall hits and then it's over.
Yeah, then it's the ones that they gone now. The smart men get married. I don't care what nobody say. The smartest men I know, all of them are married.
Right.
Yeah, all of them are married.
Yeah. Well, I think, like I said, the fellas are a little more realistic when it comes to this. I said, because at the end of the day, we know how it go. We know you're gonna hit a point, and then it's like, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna hit your peak, and then stuff gonna start doing this. So fellas, like, let me go ahead and lock stuff in, secure what I need to secure, you know what I'm saying, get the process going, get some kids going, get my legacy going. And it's like, all right, we're gonna ride this on up until we crest out. You know what I'm saying? Then we're gonna cruise on through retirement and do the grandparent thing and do what we do until the time is up. But for some reason, I said it's just different on the other side. And like I said, once again, I gotta applaud the young lady in the video. She also said that marriage was not on her to-do list. And I'm like, here we go again with this. Yep, it's not on your to-do list. So it's just, I said, it's the weirdest thing ever, man. I said, then to be sitting in this car, once again, I ain't mad at her, but then to be sitting in this car, trying to drop game. And I said, that's one thing we got to do is we got to spread the game on to the generations coming, behind us. So I agree with her, but it's just like, man, it wasn't on your to-do list. You know what I'm saying? You got your regrets. It's like, this is the story. We hear this consistent story and then wonder why we can't get off the ground successfully. It's wild to me. Hey, Joe, you want to try this again, man? Joe, you there? Yeah, we still can't get your audio, man. Still can't get your audio, man. I'm gonna mute you for now. Still can't hear you. So yeah, I don't know. Go ahead, Coco. You want to say something?
I had a question that's not completely off topic. It's sort of related, but it's, B-Boxer made me think of it because I don't know if I've ever heard it truly explained to me. So what exactly is the wall? I need somebody to explain to me what the wall is. No, because it's a YouTube talking point. So I need somebody to explain what it is.
I mean, all it is just simply that for women, you only got a certain amount of time that you're going to be the hottest you'll ever be, the most attention you're ever going to get, and obviously that coincides with childbearing as well. At some point, you're not going to get the attention that a lot of women get. Everybody gets this, but women especially, you're not going to get the male gaze, as we would say. You're not going to get men catering to you as much, and you'll become invisible. That's what the wall is, all right? So, and sometimes depending on... Whoa.
Hold on one second.
I mute you, Joe.
Yeah, hold that thought, Joe. We'll test you out once our B-Boxer get done. Go ahead, B-Boxer.
Joe sounds like Darth Vader. But at some point, all those things, those perks and stuff that women get is gonna stop. And depending on what the woman looks like, if she average, it might be 5 years. If she's overweight, it might never happen. So you might hit the wall at 18. It might be over. So it's just something. It's all about the male gaze and the perks that women get until a certain age hits, and then it's over.
So a man determines when a woman has hit the wall or not? Because it's about the male. You said it's about the male gaze, and if she's going to be able to get that attention, and how long she's able to get the attention, and how long she's desirable to a man. So men are determining when she hits the wall.
I think nature's determining that. I don't think men are determining
that. Wait. The reason why I say that is because you specifically said that it's about when she is most desirable, because we talk about two different things. Because her biological clock, from what it sounds like, is slightly different than the wall, right? The way you guys are saying it. It's not the same.
There's a causation.
Y'all don't know reproductive like I do.
There's a causation, not a correlation. There's
So
not a correlation. That's a correlation, not causation. Sorry.
yes, so let me understand it, because I hear this mentioned all the time, and we need to mind it out, okay? Because I'm not letting stuff like that pass no more. We're not dropping no more YouTube talking
Oh,
points.
come
We're
on.
not dropping any more YouTube talking points without minding it out. So the wall that men talk about, is it that women determine? Is it? Are you saying it's purely biological? Okay. Are you saying that it's purely nature, which would be biological, that determines when she hits the wall?
I also mentioned like looks, like you're
So
going
which is it? Because if we're talking about biology, that's going to be different for every woman. It's not one size fits all. But if we're talking about the male gaze and we're talking about men finding her desirable, now that's different, right? Which actually also is subjective. But I'm gonna let y'all go on that one,
Oh, come
because I
on.
understand. I'm gonna let that one go, because I understand that women in their younger ages, in their younger years, are more desirable to men, right? In general. So I get that. So are we then saying that men determine, I'm asking again, because I haven't gotten a clear answer yet. Men determine when a woman hits the wall. Is that what you're telling me? That's for a man to determine.
No, because women do. Let me help you out, B-Box.
Thank you, Vince.
Women determine the wall too. Y'all don't want to see no old 45-year-old woman walking around like she's 25. Y'all don't want to see that either. Yeah, wait a minute, let me finish. Y'all don't want to see Vivica Fox playing some young hot mama. Y'all want to see her playing grandmama. And it also hits the wall for you guys, because when you hit the wall, your choices of men decreases tremendously.
Based off
Let
of
me
what?
finish, Coco. That doesn't happen for men. We get better as we get older because we're more desirable for what women want in general. Women want stability. Women want a man who's on his purpose. That usually happens for men as they get older. What men want they want fertility. If you marry a 40-something-year-old woman, you can't have 4 kids. Naturally. You can't do it. If a man wants 4 kids, he can start off at 42 and have 6 kids. A woman can't really do that at 42. See, everybody think they Janet. Wait a minute. Everybody think they Janet Jackson is for somebody. That don't usually work. It's just the nature of things. So hitting the wall is really, you guys determine that, because if you 40, you have more options at 25 than you have at 35 than you have at 45. I have more options even at 52 than a 42-year-old man.
So I don't want to get too far off my question. I don't want to get too far off my question. I don't want to get too far off my question, because I feel like I'm asking specific questions, right? I'm not comparing men to women anymore, because we always like to do that. I'm specifically asking a question about, we talk about this wall a lot. I need y'all to be able to articulate to me what this wall means, right? What does it mean?
It's about
and answer the questions and be able to answer the direct questions that I'm asking, right? My question is, and I still have not gotten an answer. My question is, who determines when a woman has hit the wall? Is that her biology? Is that a man that determines that? Or does she get to determine when she's hit the wall? Because we say these terms, and I want to be clear about what they mean. Since we hurl them at women, I want to know. I'm not saying I'm for or against. I'm simply saying let's mine it out, right? So who determines it? What determines when a woman has hit the wall?
Your outcomes.
Right.
Your options.
I'm going to say it again, because you didn't say that in your description. You didn't. Okay. You didn't say that in your description. You said fertility.
That's an option.
You said looks.
That's optional.
You said her marketability, her desirability. I get all that. Okay. So we're not just purely talking about outcomes. That's not purely what we're talking about. Because if we was purely talking about outcomes, right? There's some of these women that are past what I've heard some men refer to as wall age, that men are still after for whatever reason. Y'all can say whatever reason.
Those are outliers, Cody. That's not the norm.
Y'all can say whatever reasons for whatever reasons they after these women, whatever reasons they after them. It don't matter. They still.
You mean are they getting married?
They still find them desire. Y'all didn't say that. See what I'm saying? Don't move the goalposts.
No. That's we're not moving the goalposts. That's
Y'all
not
said,
what
you said finding a woman desirable.
I think
That's
this
what
is
nah,
Mary,
what-
you did not say that. You said fertility. You said desirability, right?
I think
those are the two main things you said.
this is not
So
binary.
I'm going off of that because
It's
y'all
not
ain't marrying women. Y'all not marrying women and still having babies with them. So
Let me let
y'all still
let JR take a stab.
Not you. I'm not talking about the men on the panel. I'm saying y'all are not waiting for marriage to have babies with women. So
most men don't have babies.
So
Most men don't have babies.
is the point that I hear that. See, we're going back to it.
Most men don't
Let's
have
stay
babies.
on what we on. Y'all still have not answered my question, and now y'all dropping another step.
We have answered the
This is
question.
what I'm saying.
Hitting the wall is your options.
You're making a binary.
That's the wall, Chloe.
So hold
You're
on.
making a binary.
Let
Making
me
a
phrase
binary.
this now.
Wait a minute.
Am I crazy or are they not answering my question?
Yes, a little bit.
Let me phrase this out. Let me phrase it out. I got you.
Around it. I'm gonna need another.
I got you.
Another woman. Like y'all not really answering the question. Y'all not. You're not.
Okay. Let me phrase it. Let me phrase this out. So I need one of the fellas to lay it on the table, point blank, period, no chaser. Who decides if a woman has hit the wall? Is it a man or is it a woman? I'm gonna put it straight like that. One of the fellas boss up and just let it be known. Who decides if she's hit the wall?
Men.
Okay, there it is. So JR said men, Vince said men. Okay. So to answer your
did I not say it right? Because I feel like I asked it.
It's more complicated. It's context. It's more complicated.
I asked the question the same way. I literally said,
simple.
who determines?
It's not that simple.
I think
it's not
what
that
Mr. What Mr. Konvos allude to here is like the question. Like is a very good question, right? Because she's basically saying somebody or nature has to decide, and the answer to that question would then become subjective to each individual, I guess. But a perfect example of that would be who just got married there. What's his name? Jeff to what's that lady? Lauren, something like that.
Jeff Bezos, yeah.
Yeah, and she's 50-something years old or whatever it is, and he's how old, right? So that would be equivalent to me being 29, 30, dating a woman that's 25 or something, to Jeff Bezos being 67, 77, whatever it is, to dating a 50-year-old. So to him, she hasn't hit the wall. To him, because she's still a younger woman to him, I guess. So if that answers your question, Ms. Coco, I don't know.
Yeah, it does. And because I'm making a larger point, right? It's not even necessarily if hitting the wall. It's not even necessarily what the point about the wall. The point that I'm actually trying to make is we spend a lot of time arguing these points, and I think this is part of what has gone wrong between Black men and women. We spend a lot of time arguing these points, right? About the wall and the statistics of who's making all the babies and who's not having babies and all of these things. And this is not to dismiss them like there aren't factual pieces of evidence here. That's not where I'm going with it. Where I'm going with it is, are we so hyper fixated on these things that now we're saying things, but they don't leave room for life. Like in real life, They don't leave room for that. Like, we know that Bezos and his girl is an exception, but it's a good example. It's still an example though. But we know that's not going to happen for every woman. We know that's not going to happen for every 50 some odd year old woman, right? Like that's not going to happen. Okay. She is obviously an exception. This is an exceptional situation. So I wouldn't take something like that and try to use that as a proof case because it's an exception. However, I would say when we talk about the wall, there is some validity to it being subjective. And the reason why I say that is because unless you purely say it's biology and only biology, then you kind of got me there, because at a certain point, all women are going to get to the point where it's going to be harder and harder for them to have kids so they can't anymore, right? So I can't argue with that. Nothing I can argue, no woman can, right? Even though that does look different still from woman to woman. Women don't just hit their 40s and can't have kids no more. Like, I think I need men to understand that too. Like, that's not necessarily how it works. The faucet don't just turn off the minute you turn 40, right? Like, does it become more challenging? Yes, but then there are more women than you probably know that continue to have babies in their 40s, right? So I don't want us to get so stuck on that we don't leave room for us to actually have the conversation, because we just throw that out there and then it's just like done, right? So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it. The bigger point that I'm trying to make is not about whether the wall exists, whether it don't exist. That's not even the point I'm making. The point I'm making is some of this stuff that's got us arguing back and forth, like this wall and some of these stats that we're arguing back and forth about, we can't get to the conversation because we throw these out. We just, we throw them out. And then that's supposed to just like dead everything. And it stops us from being able to go forward. Like the stat about, okay, well, it's only a certain small portion of men who are getting all the women knocked up. So we throw that out there, and then now we don't get to actually have a conversation about how this affects the community and what we do about it, right? Because it's like, well, it's only a small amount, and I'm not saying you guys feel that way, but it's only a small amount. So what are we talking about them for? And it's like, well, we still have to have the conversation because it still affects the community, right? Like we throw this stuff out, and it's supposed to just be there. It is. That's why, boom, she hit the wall. It's it for her. It's over. Throw the wall away. And it's like, we need to keep having this conversation because this stuff still affects the community. If we're talking about what went wrong between us, we have to have these conversations, whether she's hit the wall or not. Like, it's still relevant to the conversation.
But the problem is, and this is the difference between men and women, and I'll use me as an example. I'm a 52-year-old man. I understand that my sex game is not the same as when I was 22. That don't mean I can't perform. That don't mean I still can't have babies, but it is definitely not the same. The wind used to win by, and they would boom. Now I take a little bit more to get that engine going. So I'm going to take it off of women, and I'm going to put it on me. But I understand that. A woman will go around, know she got 2-3 baby daddies, know she fat, but then she want to ask for a 6-figure dude. Men know what we qualify for. I understand if I was to ever get divorced, which it ain't gonna happen. If I wanted to go out there and give me a 25, I understand I gotta pay for that. I would have to pay for that. And if that's what I wanted, I would be okay with doing that. But a woman would, well, I can still have Russell Wilson, the woman that every man wants. I mean, the man that every woman wants. It don't matter that I got a baby with Future. It don't matter that I'm 100 pounds overweight. It don't matter that I got a fucked up attitude. I want more now. That's the problem, Coco. It's not necessarily about what you're speaking about. It's about the delusion of these women that has hit the wall asking for more than they got when they had more to offer.
Then, okay, and I don't disagree. So then you actually made my point. I don't disagree. So then the conversation is about the delusion That's what the conversation is about. It's not about the elusive wall or not. Like I think the reason, listen, guys, the reason why I'm saying this is because I think these are not conversation starters. I think that when we say these things, they become conversation stoppers. Instead of us continuing the conversation based off of these things, they kind of put a stop to it. They dead it, and then we don't get to actually have the conversation. So the real conversation is, why are women walking around deluded about where they are, who they really are, what their value really is? Like, let's talk about that and how do we talk to women and how do we navigate that conversation, right? Because this is what I meant about when I dropped the whole wig thing. Like, and y'all was in the comments real touched by that. But the point that I'm always trying to make is that we get stuck on these things and then we can't have a conversation. Like, we stuck on these things that we can get past this hump, we can get over that. Not saying we could table that. Like, that's not a major issue. It's a preference and I get it, but it's not a major issue. It shouldn't stop us from being able to have the conversation. But anytime y'all get so touched and so triggered by something like that, it's crazy to me. We can't even get to the fact that nobody who isn't married to you should be telling you what to dress, how to dress, or what to wear. Let's just be so for real. Why should you listen to me tell you as a man what you need to be doing as a man? And I'm just some girl. You're not going to do it. You're not going to be as apt or willing to listen to me dictate to you what you should do as a man. And a woman is not going to want to listen to you dictate to her. And you're not her man. You're not her dad. You're not her uncle. You're not her brother. You're not even her friend. But you expect her to listen to you dictate about her, about what she's supposed to wear on her head. Like, it's just not going to happen. So when we do stuff like that, when we drop those kinds of things, it stops conversation instead of starting conversation, and it doesn't allow the conversation to continue. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that a wall doesn't exist. I'm not saying that women don't age out of things. I'm not even saying that none of this stuff is true. But what I'm saying is, when we drop these things out there, I don't think we understand that they don't really aid the conversation. They don't help. And after 5 years of us dropping these things out, dropping them like we dropping bombs, they haven't gotten us anywhere. We haven't made any progress in the real conversations.
Yeah, but Coco, I think that's part of the issue, though. So we're trying to get to a point where we can actually have productive conversations between men and women. Yep, and that is the struggle. Yeah, we will have women say, you know what I'm saying, this is what we're looking for, this is what we like, this is what we want to see from our men. Yep, and then there'll be some resistance there. But I think at the same time, some of those men are listening because they're trying to secure a woman. So they're like, okay, if this is what she's saying she's looking for, let me see how I fit into that mold or whatever, or see if I can make that work. And then on the flip side, we'll have men saying to women, this is what we're looking for. This is what we desire. This is my preference. But I'm just going to be honest. Typically, men don't get that same response back. Yeah, but that's where the issue comes in. So when we talk about this whole wall topic, essentially, this is men talking about what they desire. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for, because essentially this is the guy who's gotten himself together. Because I said, I can't speak for the knucklehead cats out here. This is the dude who got himself together. Okay, I got my stuff situated. I got the foundation in place. I got everything worked out. So now all I need is the lady to come in and compliment this thing, and we can go ahead and move forward and do what we do. So he's saying, I'm looking for this, and this. Yep, this is the initial criteria to come on into what I got going on. I take care of you. We do all that, build a family, do all of that and all of that. So I think that's, you know what I'm saying, that ties into this wall conversation. Now, don't get me wrong. We do got to consider YouTube talking points. Yeah, there's a lot of YouTube talking points going on out here, and we got to weed through that, because I'm sure we done all seen that. We done all heard that. So we know that there's a lot of YouTube talking points out here. And like I said, I'm a whole man, just like a lot of these other cats out here. But some of this stuff that we use as talking points, some of it be some trash. Let me just be honest. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not going to get us anywhere. Yeah, but I think in this particular conversation we having right now, as we're addressing this wall, I think this wall is important. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to establish relationships. Yep, it's to establish relationships. So men do have a virtual wall that they are essentially kind of characterizing or comparing women to, or level setting women to. And then I think, you know, saying in the same conversation, I think women, they probably have their own version of a virtual wall that they are level setting men to as well. Yeah, but the problem is we don't want to have a real conversation about each other's wall. Yep, and that's the problem. Yeah, men have expectations for women. Women, I need y'all to understand that. Yeah, let me just go ahead and go there since we're having this conversation. Ladies out there that's going to watch this video, that's listening to this video, I need y'all to understand, men have expectations for y'all, especially the one that he is selecting to be his wife and build a family with. He got expectations. Yep, he going to have some preferences. So just prepare yourself. That's the case. He ain't going to just accept you as you are. Like, yeah, we got to let that mentality go. He's not going to just accept you as you are. Give me one sec, Vincent. I'm going to come over to you, man.
Okay.
And then the second thing is, ladies are going to have some expectations for men. Let's just be honest. There's going to be some expectations there. So as men, it's like, just go and prepare yourself. It's going to be something there. Let me come over to Vince and I'll come back to it. Go ahead, Vince.
I think the fundamental problem, and this is why Kevin Samuels was so effective, because
Wait, hold on one sec, Vince. Who got the audio? Hold on. Where's the audio coming from? All right, go ahead. Try it again, Vince. Some feedback.
He was talking about the men that these women want. He wasn't talking about Pookie. He wasn't talking about baby daddy. He was talking about college educated, no baby daddies, wanting to have a traditional wife, wanting to have a family, wanting to have a kids, and wanting to have legacy. And when he told them that they have to compete for that man, oh, I ain't competing for that. I ain't competing for nothing. He should be happy to be with me. We have lied to our black women so much that it's scary. Even with this whole situation that we got going on now in the media, don't nobody want to say they're dealing with some hoes.
Be careful, Vince.
They're dealing with some hoes. They stayed for the money and liked it until the money ran out. Then with some hoes. And the one thing I'm confused about is that women complain about they got so much women taught this so much independence, so much I can do it for myself, so much. But then when you hear, oh well, he had me trapped, and he controlled my life. Bitch, please. You knew who that man was, but you seen how much money he had in his pocket, and that was your decision. But don't nobody want to say that. Don't nobody want to say that, but that's just the truth. And I got daughters. I love black women. But sometimes we all make some fucked up decisions. And we can't make fucked up decisions then at the end call the fucking victim.
That's facts.
The girl had a husband. Come on, had a husband. She said the man raped her. She went back to him the same night and had consensual sex. Come on now. Really? Oh, she has mental. Come on, people. We can't just tell the truth. The bitch got to pay out. Come on. And y'all looking like, oh, yes, come on. She got to pay out $30 million. The other one had a baby with one of the biggest rappers in society, and she's still tricking. Come on now. They ran up into that man's house in 3 different states, and all they found was some baby oil.
Y'all, okay.
Oh,
But he's not innocent. He's not innocent.
That's
Let's
not
not do
innocent.
that.
He's
Let's not
innocent
do
for,
that.
wait a minute, he's
He's not
innocent for what they
innocent. He's not
accused
gonna
him
do
Oh,
of.
it.
come on.
He's
Come on,
innocent
Vince.
for what they accused him of.
He's
And I'm
not
saying this
innocent.
because, let me finish.
No,
If
we're not gonna do
everybody
that,
had a
Vince.
camera through people's lives and their relationships, come on now.
You
Let's
can
stop.
think,
Now
okay, you can
Quay and
feel
Chloe.
however you want to feel about
Vince.
the women, but he's
Hold
not
that thought,
innocent.
man.
We're not gonna paint
Hold
that
that
picture.
thought.
I
We
did
gonna come back.
not say
We're not gonna do that.
I'm not
Hold
gonna
that thought,
what?
Vince.
Paint it for
We
what
gonna
it is.
we gonna come back to the hold that
He's
thought,
not
Vince.
innocent. We're not gonna do
He's
that.
innocent of
We're
that.
not gonna do that.
He's innocent of that.
He's not
Is he
innocent.
innocent of that?
He's not innocent of doing any of the things that they said he did, and he actually didn't say he didn't do them either. Let's just walk through this.
Hold
His
that
defense
thought. We
attorneys
go.
never said he didn't do that stuff. So we're not gonna do all that. You can feel how you
Hold
feel
that
about
thought.
the women and all of that, and I'm not gonna.
They
I don't know if
consensually went.
it
They
is
was
what
even
it
setting
is,
them up, Chloe.
but he did not
They
claim
got
to be
immunity.
innocent,
It
and
was
he's
in the
not.
thing that they were calling these men. They were
Next.
calling these men.
He
Setting it
did
up,
not
Chloe.
claim to be innocent, and he's not.
Defending Diddy is
So
And
crazy, bro.
this is the
he's
problem.
not innocent.
This is the problem. They'll throw a black man in jail for just something he did 40 years ago.
Nah, Vince.
Stop that. Yeah, let's stop.
Man,
Let's
hold
keep
that
going
thought.
nowhere
Hold that
fast.
thought.
You
Let's
sound
Hold
like
that
go.
thought.
Vince.
Hold that
He's
Vince,
not
you sound like
innocent. I'm not about to let that fly. Let's
Vince
on to the next. What did Joe have to say?
Vince sounds like a
Hold
Democrat
it.
right now. Vince, you're a Democrat now, Vince? You're a Democrat? You gonna join my team? You're
Hold
gonna join
that
I'm
my team?
thought,
independent.
man.
I
gonna come
go
back.
about what's right. And see, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not going to sit up here as a 52-year-old man who had a bunch of relationships and not say, if they take that. But see, most men ain't going to say that. Most men ain't going to say what they done really did if the cameras was on y'all every move.
Y'all ready? Because this gonna go nowhere.
Hold that
Y'all
thought,
every
Vince. Hold
time
that
y'all
thought.
done had
Gonna go
sex with
nowhere
y'all, just come on, baby.
Hold that thought. We gonna come back. We gonna come back. Hold that thought, man. Hold that thought.
That's what I mean. So y'all lie to each other, and then you wonder why y'all delusions.
We gonna touch it. Just hold on. We gonna touch it. Just hold that thought. Go ahead. You sure? Is that you sure? How you doing, man?
All right, man. Okay. Well, the sister asked when I came on, and she asked how did black men and black women get here? I think that's what she asked. Okay, that's what we should be talking about. My point is that we got here because back in 1967. Now I'm going there. I'm not going to take it further back. In 1967, 68, there was a sex thing going on between black men and black women. Okay, that there were black men who went to Vietnam, came home. Some of their women were pregnant with other men's children. Then it was black men and black women meeting up. Neither one of them had the intentions on being married. It was about lust, period. So out of that came anger from black women because they just assumed that some of these men was going to marry them. That was not the case. So that generation of children that came out of that, those black mothers had disdain for those black men who they freely laid down with, knowing that he was not going to marry them, and she didn't have the intentions on marrying him. It was about lust. So the anger was that you heard black mothers saying what to their sons? Are you just like your father? Or you have black mothers saying this to their daughters. They start teaching their daughters how to be more independent because men were no good. So we had a generation of coming up. I'm 58 years old. I seen it. I grew up in the housing projects in Wilmington, Delaware. I seen it firsthand. I saw when the welfare folks came around and checked, that man was not supposed to be there. His shoes and everything would go. They would hide his shoes and everything, his clothes, his underwear, hide them. So I'm saying that there was some anger there, and those men and women of that time did not come back to the table and shake hands and say, hey, we have to shake hands and unite for the sake of our children to see us being together, because our children and both of them was disunited. They didn't like each other. They hated each other. You know, my dad was sick before he died. My mom would not go in there and see him. She would not go in there and see him. I said, wow, you laid with this man. You can't go in there and say hi to him? Really? That's insane. So I'm saying that with that came this anger. So we got a generation of black women who just had disdain for black fathers. They don't like black fathers. They don't like black males. So that's where some of this is what we got. This is the beginning of what we have today. And it is festered and festered and festered on until Generation Z, X, whatever you want to call them, it continued to do just that. So now we at time. Now you have black men who got tired of being beat up in movies and Color Purple and Waiting to Excel. Black men started talking. Said, wait a minute, hold up. All this ain't on us. We both need accountability. So when black men start speaking up, then black men got the charge that he was emotional and he was arguing with women and all that. No, black men began to talk. That was the issue. And he began to try to correct what was been said about him. So I'm saying, from my experience, I'm 58. Like I said, I'm 58 years old, single with no children. So no sister can tell me a goddamn thing about being a nice guy and all that stuff. Save all that. I tell them in a minute, God, get out of here. Every time I tell a sister I don't have children, guess what she say to me? What's wrong with you? I go, really? So we have accepted the normacy. It's normal for us as black men just to go sleep with other women, have children, because our women now then accepted the fact that that's normal. Now they say that now, but what they do in social media is use that against black men by saying that we're deadbeat fathers. But you meet a man that don't have children, and then you think something wrong with him. What's wrong with you? You gay? No, dummy. I'm just responsible. And I'm not doing that. I'm not going to have children like that. I'm not doing that. So we do that. We get punished by black women. Black women now. White women don't tell me that. If I say I don't have kids, they celebrate me. They go, oh, you have kids? Oh, wow. Latino women don't say that to me. It's only black women say, what's wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? What's wrong? It's insane. It's crazy that we have accepted that as being normal now, that black men got to have all these children. I met a young brother. He's 26 years old. He got 6 kids. And he thought that was funny. I said, bro, that's not funny. That's not. That there are consequences to us having these children like this all around. There's consequence to this. Now, optimistically wise, we're not doing all that bad as a whole. Black fathers are with their children, period, statistically. But there's 51% of black men who are single with no children. Do folks know that? Nope. They don't even care. But I'm saying that's what I had to say with that. I'm gonna back out, let somebody else talk. But again, this is what we got. This is how we got what we got. Those women of my mother's generation, God bless her soul, she's gone now. But those women of that time and those men did not come back to a table and shake hands. They didn't do that. They let that fester, all that anger and confusion and lies. Some of these black mothers have lied on their on these men. They lied. So I'm saying that again, this is what we got, and that's what I had to say for right now.
Okay, no, I appreciate that, man. I said I appreciate that breakdown right there. Yeah, you made some valid points. I'm gonna come over to you, Joe, in a sec, man. You made some valid points, you know what I'm saying, in what you said. I think the challenge is that they're coming back to the table to shake those hands. Yeah, this is the piece that we continue to talk about, and it's just like, how do you pull the women and the men together to come back, shake hands at the table? The ladies say, hey, we messed up. The fellas say, hey, we messed up. Let's start over. Let's try this again. Like that is the struggle. Yeah, because I said right now we are so caught up in taking shots at each other. We're so caught up in the anger. Let's say, to your point, Yeshua, you made that point where you said that some of these black women will essentially kind of come at you, you know what I'm saying, when they find out that you don't have any kids, you know what I'm saying, at 58. But just to add context, I've heard us as men, I've heard us do that too. Yeah, we do that
Yeah,
to some of
yeah,
the we do, yeah,
yes,
we do that to some of the black
yes,
women out here. We'll go up to a
yes.
black woman and she'll be like, "Hey, I'm 40 years old with no kids," and we'll be like, "What's going on with you? Like, why you ain't got no kids by 40?" Like, and we'll look at her like she crazy, and it's like maybe she just being responsible. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we gotta that you right about that anger. Yep, I think that anger is wrapped up in there on both sides, and it's stopping us or it's restricting us from being able to come to a conversation collectively. Yeah, to talk about what we all did wrong, to talk about, you know what I'm saying, what our preferences are, what we looking for in relationships, you know what I'm saying, how we trying to build, what we trying to do. Like it's restricting that. And that's the piece. If I could figure it out, I would flip the switch today if I could. That anger. Yeah, because we see it permeating all over social media. Yep, I posted a clip this week, you know what I'm saying, about a fella saying that he preferred some longer hair. And it's like he just caught it. And I'm just like, man, this brother can't say he can't say he likes long hair. Like, why it's got to be all this anger and all this frustration? And I said, that young lady, she had to check, like she felt like she had to check him. Yep, and he didn't even have the issue with her. He had to, you know, say he brought up his request or his preference with another lady. Yep, and she just felt like she had to get him the business and tell him this and tell him that. And it's just like, wait a minute. So yeah, that's how I can tell that anger is wrapped up in there. Listen, I think you hit that right on the head, man. That if we can figure out this anger and we can actually put that aside and be adults for a minute, just to come back to the table to have a conversation, like, man, so we can try to hash this out. Because I said it's not getting us nowhere. I think we'll be so much better off. Let me come back to Joe. Joe, let's try this audio again, man. Come off mute and see if we can hear you.
Are we good?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. Go ahead, man.
Cool. Um, wow. Y'all sure was spitting fire. I was just sitting here going like, huh, the origin stories. I mean, I wasn't around to see none of it. I could only see the after effects of it, and it confused me. I couldn't quite wrap my head around when I was 20-ish, 20, 21 years old, dating black women. I didn't have that perspective. I didn't see those things in the projects growing up. I'm going into the dating market, and you would just see the animosity and experience it. And it's like that's odd. And so it's like maybe that's just that one black woman. I date another one, another one, another one. And it's like a pattern. I'll never forget when one woman I dated just caught back her hand and slapped me in the face. I said, "What the hell you do that for?" I just wanted to see what she was gonna do about it. You wanted to test my strength? Why would you want to do that? So you want me to catch a charge? And I almost hit her because that's just a reflex, right? I'm like, wait, who does that? So eventually, you get a little older, you date a little bit outside of your race, and you say, "Wait a second, what? So what's the story here? Like, why are black women different from the Latinos, from the white?" And you hate to do the compare and contrast, and you say, "Well, no, it's got to be just isolated incidents." But you are forced to recognize it and see it, and you come to the conclusion over a period of time that maybe they just don't like us so much for whatever reason. I don't know. So it's interesting to hear Yashua's perspective on that. Now, to Chloe's point, she asked the question that I kind of want to attempt to ask real briefly. The best way I know how: who determines when a man hits or when a woman hits the wall? Is it biology? Is it man? Is it her? I would say it's all of the above. I think, for example, that woman in the video, she understands this is her. She understands that her options have dwindled. Then you have the man, the ones that she wants to get with, they choose younger women, more attractive women, more fertile, more beautiful, more energy. That typically comes with youth, with women. So she sees it outside of her own reality. And then there's biology, the inability to conceive healthy children or to do so in a healthy way. It's a much greater risk at a much later age, 35 to 40. They're playing catch up. We don't necessarily want to take that risk. We understand instinctively a younger woman is most likely going to have healthier children and much fewer complications if he wants to have children. So it's a lot of factors in it. It's the man deciding a woman's value. It's the woman, if she's smart, knowing, okay, this is where I stand. Now this is what I can get. And then there's also biology. It's just Father Time taking this place. Um, so I would say this for an example. I've met when I went to a modeling agency last year. What I noticed is that there was a lot of guys and women who had dreams and aspirations of being a model, and so. But yet, then you have someone like myself who came into the agency for the first time, never modeled, never did anything, and yet they wanted to give me contracts that they were denying these people who had way more experience than me, who didn't have a certain look that they had. So when people go into the dating market, you get what people want from you. And it's like you can't, no matter how much hard work you put into it, no matter what you think in your mind you are to someone else, if someone doesn't see that value in you and want to date you or want to marry you, it's just not going to happen. And if you're assuming that your target audience is men, you're a woman who wants to marry, then you're going to look to that man in terms of what you want to get from him, and you're going to say, well, this is what he wants, so this is what I will adjust to. When I was dressing myself, I had to dress myself a certain way that would appeal to women. I don't dress myself like a high schooler because it actually cost me a woman that I like. She said, no, that ain't the move, yo. I said, okay, I got to change it up. When I changed it up, I started attracting the women that I wanted because I dressed a certain way. So yes, and even when working out, I'm aware when I work out, it's not just for myself. I'm aware of that appeal to women. It signifies strength and ability and competency. So it's not just me working out for myself. No, I'm working out because I know it's going to attract the type of woman that I want to attract, and it does work. So I don't have that delusion. If I'm skinny, if I'm fat, I'm probably going to attract a certain type of woman, not the type that I want. So you're going to get what you are worth in the marketplace, regardless, even when it comes to the modeling thing. It's just, I walk in, someone like myself and walk in, you're the one I want. I didn't do nothing. You just have the certain look, the certain facial features. You're the one we want. We're going to give you a contract. Forget all these other people who've been trying to get in for the last 2, 3 years. I'm like, damn, that's cold. But that's a cold business. And this also is a cold world. It's very black and white like that sometimes. This is what we want, and this is what we're going to, pay you to do. And I'm like, you don't even know me. I just walked in. What about this guy over here? Oh, yeah, he's a little too short. Oh, he doesn't have that his cheekbones is like yours. It's like, whoa. But I don't know how to walk. Yeah, well, we can teach you that. This guy, he's been doing this. Yeah, well, he can play backup. It's like that. That's so what I saw in the modeling world is what it is in real life. And we men typically, if we're not crazy, if we're not listening to too much red pill content, we'll understand. Okay, this is where I'm at. This is where I need to improve. This is how old I am. This is how much money I have. This is what my body looks like. You kind of have a sense of your objective reality to factor in. Okay, what kind of women can I attract? It's just that women seem to, because of social media, they seem to just have the word at their feet, and then they just let things fall apart, and then they get too old, and it's like they trying to play catch up, and now you see you want to get married. It's like, but it's not too late. I think she's an attractive woman. It's just that she would probably have to go for an older man, and she'll find someone that if she wants it. So sometimes a person can get into their own head and say, well, we don't want, I don't think I'm valuable enough. I don't think that's true. It's just that what kind of man does she want? It's the type of man that she wanted, that she could have got, she may not be able to get. So she may have to do something a little different to attract the type of man that would want her for who she is at that moment in time. With that said, I'll land there.
Okay. No, I appreciate that right there, Joe. Appreciate that. I don't know if the ladies want to say anything, Cole. I saw you finally made it on. I don't know if you want to say something. Are you good right now? Trying to give you your opportunity. You good right now?
I'm good right now.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, no
Well, I
problem. No
definitely
problem.
have something to say.
Say that again.
I definitely have something to say.
Uh-oh. I can feel it.
I definitely stand like, listen, the things that I say, I'm saying them with the utmost respect. Please understand that. But we have gotten to a point now where I'll go back to my original point about the wall. We are missing it. We are just missing it. Like there is absolutely anger and animosity between Black men and Black women. This is why women are not receptive to you guys when you say some of the things that you're saying, right? You guys are valid, okay? It's not that the points that you're making are not valid. It's not that women haven't gotten delusional. It's not, you're making valid points. But here's the problem, right? because of the way we talk to each other, we can't even, this is not about tone policing, because y'all know I say what I need to say, how I need to say it. This is more so because we are hiding behind YouTube talking points, and we're hiding behind, we're digging our heels in on things like this hair thing. Like, we are digging our heels into this so bad that we can't even have conversations, our valuable conversations. So many things have been said on this panel. Everybody has made a valid point today. Everybody has said something powerful today. But we're still digging our heels in about some of these things that is crazy to me. And this is no dig at Joe. Like, your points you made, you also have, valid points. I'm not saying that. I respect your opinion. But some of this stuff is crazy to me. We're talking about women's reproductive health when there's only 2 uteruses. Literally on this whole panel. 2. None of y'all know what it is like. None of y'all. But YouTube and Google, I think y'all thinking is giving y'all this insight. Even if you're married to a woman, you still don't know what it's like. Because she's not going to tell you everything. I guarantee you she not. Because if she did, you would feel different. You would feel different. You knew all of the things.
I'm not understanding your point.
If you knew all of she's not going to tell you all of the things that she goes through. She's not going to tell you. She's not. Because some of the stuff she experiences and some of this stuff she goes through it correlates to you. It directly correlates to you. So she is not going to tell you every single detail. She's not. She is not. And I can nope, because it ain't in your business. That's another reason.
Can I say something quickly? Can I interject?
That's a no, because I'm not done.
Okay.
That's another reason why she's not going to do it. But y'all feel comfortable to get on these platforms. Y'all get on these platforms and you'll say these things about women's reproductive health. And it's like, yes, everyone knows that women have a biological. That's okay. That's easy. That's low hanging fruit. Y'all got that. But what y'all don't understand is what that means, what that looks like for a woman, what that process is, how long that takes. Like, as women, we're still educating ourselves, because the truth of the matter is every woman's experience is not exactly the same. So it's crazy to me that we get hung up on these type of topics. That's just like me. What would I look like coming up here telling y'all what ED and PD is about for y'all? What in the world why would I?
But it's a thing.
Why would I be?
But it is a thing.
Here? It's a thing. Yes, but I don't know what that's about. So why would I be coming out here just dropping ED all over the place and dropping the term PD all over the place just because I've heard it, just because I've Googled it? Okay, I've Googled it. But I don't know what that means for you. I don't know what that experience is for you.
But you don't have to know what it is.
Biologically, yes, I do. Because if I'm going to speak on it like I'm an expert, like some of y'all do, I'm not necessarily saying the men on this panel do that, but like some of y'all do, then I should probably know a little bit more than just the tagline that AI generates when I Google it.
But
I
Chloe,
should know more about it than that.
Our point was that's
crazy to me. So I go back to my original point. And my point is this. We get hung up on this stuff. We drop it all over a conversation like it's a bomb. And then we expect everybody to go, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and I'm just like, that's not helping our conversation. And wigs and weaves, another thing. Like, y'all, please, by all means, y'all, I love y'all for engaging. But this is crazy to me. Like, Black women absolutely have the ability to grow hair out their head. My hair grows so ridiculously fast. The only problem I have is not maintaining it the way that I should. And that's a problem for a lot of us as women. We're all into styling our hair and doing all these weird things and putting all these chemicals on them and doing all of this. That's why the hair won't grow out our head. It ain't got nothing to do with Black women not being able to genetically grow hair. That's another subject topic that, I'm sorry, y'all are not qualified to speak on. But then y'all want women to sit up on these panels and listen to y'all. stick to the things, the valid points, the valid preferences, the valid conversation that men can have with women. There are so many things y'all legitimately should be talking to us about. There are so many things legitimately that we need to hear from y'all. There are so many things legitimately that women need to take from men that I admit we are not good at doing because we don't want to accept the accountability of it once you drop it on us. But we get lost in the conversation when we're stuck arguing about the stuff that quite honestly is not something that y'all should be arguing with us about. Y'all should not be arguing with us or going back and forth with us about our biology.
Okay,
Chloe,
that's not the
y'all
point.
Should
Was
not be going back and forth with us. So going back to my original point about the wall, if y'all want to make the wall a thing of a woman is less desirable to y'all, I'm with it. If y'all want to make the wall a thing about you want a younger woman because you want to increase your odds of having a baby, I'm with it. But if we start talking about a woman's biology and y'all start trying to get in the weeds about that, y'all lose me and y'all losing other women too.
ain't nobody getting in the weeds. What are you talking about?
Y'all do when y'all start talking
No, we
about
don't.
age and
Okay, no, this
over that and what
Chloe,
she can have and what she can't have. And
Chloe.
y'all don't know
Okay,
any of that.
let's
Y'all
put it on
don't
men.
know any of
Let's
that.
take it off of women
If
and
I
let's put it
start
on.
asking y'all some questions about
Chloe,
how
you've
the
been talking a
female body
long time. Can I
reproductively
make a
works,
point?
y'all not gonna be able to answer them. You're
Chloe,
not gonna be able to answer them.
Chloe, the point is
Just leave that. Sit that one down.
No, we're gonna talk about what we want to talk about because we
Sit the
men.
wigs
Now,
down too. But you're not qualified to talk about it. That's the point you're making.
You asked us the
You're not
question.
qualified to
That's the
talk
crazy
about
part.
it. You're
but
not.
Chloe, can I prove the point? Chloe, this is what I'm
You're
saying.
not.
Okay,
You're
Chloe,
not
follow
gonna
me.
prove to me.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
About a woman's biology.
Chloe, follow me for a minute.
You're never gonna be able to talk to me about a woman's biology.
Okay, let's get off of that. Okay, I'm gonna talk about a man's biology because I'm a man. Okay. I'm a 62-year-old man. I mean a 35-year-old woman. She know I probably can't have 4 kids. And she want 4 kids. Or she want the possibility of 4 kids.
I thought you said you could have 4 kids.
Nah, I'm saying 62. I'm saying older. I'm talking like 65. Okay,
But you
65.
still can. I thought you said you still could have kids though.
You could.
Not 65. I mean, most men, it's not
now
really.
I'm confused. Men are not biologically able to have
65-year-old
kids
man is not going to have 4. A 65-year-old man, in reality, is not going to have 4 kids.
Maybe 1.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a lot harder for a man at that age to have
So
children.
my thing is, if she
biological
wants kids, she needs to go younger.
Yeah,
that will.
we do.
That's all I'm saying. We're not trying to biological clock y'all or nothing else. We're just saying if I'm a 42-year-old man and I want 3 children, I probably cannot have that with a 42-year-old woman, or the possibility of having that. That's all we're saying. We're not trying to police y'all bodies or nothing else. That makes your options, because men, the men that y'all want, the quality men, the men on purpose, the men on legacy, they want children. That's all we're saying.
I'm confused.
That's all we're saying. That's
the
it.
talking point.
That's it. That was
brought
it.
Talking points into this. The talking point is that we're the ones with the biological clocks, right? And y'all seem to know exactly when that happens. And I'm gonna say that because that's what gets dropped. Listen, I can only go off of what gets dropped out of there. Now, it has not. If it has not come out of your mouth, then I'm not talking to you. So you don't have to get unnecessarily triggered. If you have not personally said this, then I am not talking about you.
Oh, come on.
And I don't mean just to pat on me, anybody in the comments. If you have not said this, then I'm not talking about you. I'm only talking to the individuals who have said it. If you have brought up a woman's biological clock, then you have addressed this. And my point is this, right? Now I'm confused. This is why I'm always going to call out the talking points. Okay? Because the talking point was women had a biological clock, right? And this was not a concern for men. It's a concern for women. So now I'm hearing that it's a concern for men as well, right? It's a concern for male, because even at a certain point, a man is not going to want to have kids, right? Past a certain point. Okay. So this goes back to my original point. Basically, this wall thing, I think this is one of those things that we need to go ahead on and wrap this up in a bowl. Go ahead and toss it in the trash. Because at the end of the day, we both have a wall. Because while I understand that a woman is always going to be looking for resources from a man, and you're right about that, Vince, I do not disagree with that. That means that your period of desirability is going to be longer. Your peak is definitely later, which we know that to be true. Women peak earlier, men peak later. We get that. Don't disagree with that. But the talking point is not about that, though. The talking point is about this wall, this elusive wall. And what I'm trying to get y'all to understand is the more we hang on to this, what it does is it pits men against women, right? Because, well, we can do this and y'all can't do this. And, well, women have harder times doing this and men have harder. Instead of us having this is another reason why women won't feel comfortable to have a conversation with you about their biology. Because if it's always going to become well, this is something that happens to women. This doesn't happen to men. And this doesn't, why in the world would a woman want to sit down with you and have a conversation about what she's going through biologically if this is how we handle conversations around a woman's biology? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So that is why I said in my original point, and I promise y'all I stand on that. She's not going to, even if that's your girl, she's not going to tell you everything. She's not going to tell you. She's not. She's going to talk to her girlfriends about it, though.
So I got a sense.
She's not going to tell you. These talking points right now are not helping us anymore at this point. They are hurting us, right? Y'all, these talking points developed and they have been y'all, this is what I mean. We have not graduated. We have not been able to mature. We have not been able to maturate past these particular talking points. It is 2025 going into 2026. We halfway through this year, baby. And we are still talking about these same talking points. I am asking y'all to open your minds a little bit. I'm not saying that men should stop talking about what they want. I'm not saying that men should stop talking about their concerns and their issues with Black women. I am not telling y'all to shut up. I am simply saying that the way we are communicating to others, because listen, the way women are communicating to y'all is not working either. It's disrespectful and it's not productive. So I'm simply saying we have to change the way we're talking at each other. We are not talking to each other. And we dropping these YouTube talking points like they bullets. Bam, bam, bam. And people they're not accepting them. They're not taking them. Y'all, it's not. No.
I push back on that, Chloe. I think men are accepting him because we deal with reality.
Y'all not hearing what women are saying. You're not getting it. I'm not talking about another man.
We're not listening to what y'all saying because y'all don't know what the fuck y'all want in the first place.
I'm not talking about another man talking to another man.
Y'all don't want to talk to me.
I'm talking about the way men and women are communicating with each other. The show is about what went wrong between Black men and Black women. Mm-hmm. So I understand that you are saying that men listen more so to other men when men are counseling them or mentoring them or talking to them or whatever.
Men listen to the truth.
And I don't necessarily. Men listen to what?
Men listen to the truth.
Oh no.
Real men do. A real man.
Absolutely not.
Go to my brother and say, look, bro.
Wait a minute.
Get your money together.
Yeah, amend that because men don't listen.
I'm not amending it. I'm talking about real men.
Because we had a whole show about Black men taking accountability, and they was in the comments hot. Of course, they didn't direct it to any of y'all, only me. But they was in the comments hot. So no, men don't want to hear the truth. They don't. They might listen to you guys say some things to them and they'll politely disagree. But when a woman speaks up, even if she comes in the way that I come very direct, but I do not disrespect y'all. I do not disrespect men. I do not do that. But I
It's
am direct.
okay.
I am. But the amount of disrespect I get back from men, no, men do not accept the truth. They absolutely do not. Unless Vince might say it, Quay might say it, B-Box might say it, Joe might say it. But if Chloe say it, oh, I'm all types of bees. I'm Shrek and I'm everything
Well,
else
those are
under
men.
the book.
Those
You
aren't
Well,
see what I'm
men.
saying?
Those are
So,
males. There's a
y'all,
difference.
I'm just simply
There's a
saying,
difference.
I'm not saying all of y'all do that. I'm not going to do that. You know, I don't do all, but we're speaking in general terms. And generally speaking, I have not seen that. I have not seen men in general be as willing to hear the truth. And I think it's the way we're communicating. And I think that that needs to change.
I agree with that.
That's real. That's real right there. That's real.
Real quick.
May I say something right quick? May I say something right quick?
Go ahead, Yeshua. I
May I
can't
say
hear the
something?
audio. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No. Okay. No,
Go ahead,
I
Yeshua.
was
It's on you.
going to say that. Okay. Black men do accept the truth because he has no choice. Nobody likes black men. Let's get that clear. He's the most examined male in America. Period. Everybody talks about him. The media talks about him. Black women talks about him, and they all say how bad he's doing. They all say he's not doing these things. They all say he's not stepping up to the plate. All of them say it, and that is a fact. You say you want truth? That's the truth. Black men are the most examined species here in America. Period. He is endangered species. The black male is. Everybody talks about him. And everybody takes shots at him. Okay? So what I'm saying, if we want truth, and we both have to accept accountability, and I think that's so much of the key term right there. We have to accept accountability. Both black men and black women. I don't care what you think. You have to be accountable for what you do. Period. And I think that's part of the problem. When I remember back in 1980, I think it was 91, when Sister Sherazade first wrote that book, and I met that sister in person. She got a lot of pushback from black women because she said black women wasn't used of no one telling on her. Black men get told on all the time. Okay, through statistics, etc. He gets told on all the time. Black men have no problem in saying we screwed up. And that's a fact. We have we got no choice in to say that. We got no choice. But I'm saying that accountability, and then we can take it further. You know, some of us don't want to deal with the idea of the mental effects of slavery, how that affected us. Coming out of that, we don't want to deal with that because some of us don't say, well, I ain't no African, I ain't this, I ain't that. Well, Negro, you experience something because it's obvious, because we don't think right. All of our ideals about mating, relationships come from white people. It don't come from none of ourselves. It comes from white people. And it doesn't work for us. The way they got it going on, it's not working for us. For some reason, it's not working for us. And that's because we have a system that was put in place to make sure that it disenfranchises, particularly males, where he cannot produce and create certain things at certain times. So that makes him feel a certain way where he does not produce things as manly that different men are allowed can do. Okay, and so I hope you understand where I'm getting at with this. But my point is that we got to understand that we need to accept accountability, man. We got to stop talking about. I don't give a god. I don't care about a woman's biology. I'm not even gonna get in a conversation with her about her biology. I don't. I mean, why would I want to get into a conversation about her biology? I don't worry about that. Okay, so a man, again, because I per se don't have children. Again, I always get folks ask me about not having children, particularly black women, and they say, "Well, you can always have children." I go, "No, I can't. I don't want to be 65 raising children. No, I don't. It's a mental thing. It's not just a biological thing. It's a mental thing for males. It takes a lot of energy to raise a child. It's work. That's nothing to be played with. And that's the consequences that we didn't have. The consequences are that we don't have males raising children properly in some cases. That's part of the problem. And we don't have women raising children properly as well. And that's part of the problem. So that's all I have to say about that. But there's a lot. If we say that we want truth and we talk about the wall, etc., we have to first accept accountability. And like I said before, that my parents and my mother and father generation, they failed to do that, and this is the results that we got.
So let me say this, Yeshua. You made some valid points. I just want to touch two things that you said that I think are, that need to be touched. So the first thing is I think we have to add context. So I think from what you were saying, when it comes to this having these children based on age, we've got this biological clock for the women, but then we've also got this choice scenario for the men. So men are saying, when I hit a certain age, I don't want to have no kids because that comes with energy and time and responsibility. And I ain't trying to do that. I'm 62, so I ain't trying to hear that. And then on the flip side, women, have a biological clock that is in place, right? So they got stages, that they're going through as they get older, right? So we had to add, we got to add that context. But the other thing I want to say that I think is important is we talk about history, right? So we talk about history, we talk about creation stories, we talk about what happened in our past, that kind of provided some of the foundation on how we got to where we're at today. But based on that, at some point though, we got to make some changes. Yes, like we know this stuff took place. We know that there was slavery from some of us, and I don't subscribe to all of us came over here on boats and all that. I know better than that. So I don't subscribe to that story. Yeah, I know a lot of us was already here doing what we do. So I don't subscribe to that. But, everybody believe whatever you want to believe. But at some point, we got to make some better decisions. Yeah, we knew and we heard some of the stories of what some of our parents was going through. We heard about the drugs in the streets. We heard about the riots. We heard about the welfare and the black men, being pushed out of the home. Like, so we heard all of those stories, right? But the problem is it's 2025 and we still living like that stuff is taking place. Yeah, we still got fellas out here laying up with chicks, knowing he shouldn't be laying up with these chicks, creating these broken households, then complaining about it after you do it. That don't work. Yeah, we still got sisters out here laying up with these bum cats, knowing that this cat ain't no real father, knowing he ain't trying to be no husband and take care of no family, but you still laying up because he had them inches. That don't work. Yep, and that's my only problem. We have to understand the history, but we also have to make better decisions based off what happened during the history. Yeah, so we can't go make the bad decisions because we seeing it play out today. We can't go make the bad decisions, but then still talk about the history. Yep, at some point, we got to act like we know better. Yeah, there's different opportunities out here now. We got all type of contraceptives. All these random babies shouldn't be running around here, but fellas still laying up, women still laying up. Yeah, we heard the stories when we was younger of people laying up and how it played out, but yet we still laying up and watching it play out just like it did back then. Yeah, so that's my problem. It's like if we're going to talk to history, then we got to talk about turning the corner and doing something different and doing something better. Yeah, we knew folks that came up behind us. They ain't have access to money like we got today, but we got access to money today. So what you going to do with it? Yep, how you going to leverage it? How you going to move different? Yeah, we talked about our families back then struggling. They couldn't buy no house. They ain't had this and they ain't had that. Okay, but we got that stuff today. And going back to the video, the girl still said we only buying these houses at 44% clips compared to these other communities. So it's like at some point as a community, we got to start making some different decisions. Yeah, but what I'm gonna be honest and tell you what I see though. I see a small percentage of us making different decisions, but I still see a lot of us on the nonsense. Yep, going back to Coco's point, we got folks in the comments going back and forth about some hair. Yeah, this ain't getting us nowhere.
Yeah.
This ain't helping our relationships. This ain't giving the ladies the, you know what I'm saying, for the fellas, this ain't giving the ladies the warm and fuzzies, making them want to come back, you know what I'm saying, and work with you. Like, this not doing that. Yeah, so maybe we need to shift the priority and the focus. Maybe we need to shift it on, you know what I'm saying, what we got our finances looking like. Maybe we need to shift it on what we got our foundation looking like. Maybe we need to shift it to how we articulate and talk to each other. Yeah, if anything, let's get that basic stuff cleared out. Let's get that established. How we talk to each other. You have some basic respect between the men and the women. Like that stuff will help us get a lot farther than her you know, her biological. Like, come on now. So yeah, we gotta, like I said, we gotta get real with some of this stuff. Go ahead, Joe. I know you want to say something. Go ahead, man.
Real quick. Yeah, just real quick. Chloe, you made some great points. You're sound like, well, for starters, you did ask the question. You initiated a conversation about the wall. That's the only reason why we engaged in it. Then you asked us directly. The man.
I didn't start the wall conversation. I didn't start that.
All right, I know. See that one lady that she says, "Well, you always write stuff down, Joe," which is true. I actually wrote down the question. You asked, "What is the wall?" And then
I
it went
asked that
from
because
there.
Beatboxer brought up the wall. I didn't start that conversation.
You did? Oh,
I
okay.
didn't introduce the wall. I didn't introduce the wall.
See, I'm innocent. I did not do it. All right. Well, nonetheless, uh, you she asked the question. You ran with it. And we asked the question, and it sounds like, and probably rightfully
Bruh.
so, that she's disappointed. You're disappointed with the general answers that we gave. I can only speak for myself that knowing that I'm only one of 8, 10 people on the panel sometimes, um, very aware that I don't have much time to go into depth about much. Um, I just don't. It's Chloe, it's Vince, and it's Quay. Then the rest of us kind of get like 20%. So, and then I try to be cognizant of other people who want to
Oh, come
speak as well.
on.
So, yeah, I wanted to go deeper. I couldn't. So I'm going to give you the general answers. We want generally the beauty, the youth, the energy. And you say, well, wait, the biology thing, yeah, it's important. But I can tell you just one quick story. There's a woman that I really adored, that I really, really liked, who told me something about her fertility that threw me off for a loop. I was like, whoa.
Oh, come
So in that
on.
moment, I'm thinking like, would I still marry this woman? And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, we just stop. So it's not always black and white, or I'm going to X out a woman because she can't produce children for whatever reason. Beauty is often the eye of the beholder. She may not be the most beautiful woman to another man, but she may be beautiful to me. So when I talk about beauty, fertility, there are going to be some variances. It's going to be some gray area. It's going to be some, well, do I care about this woman enough to overlook some things that I thought I cared about, but I don't care about because it's her. And a lot of men do that. We'll overlook those things. Not because we're settling for less, but because we realize, oh, it's not as important as I thought it was. So I can give you general responses about generally what men are looking for. But then when it comes down to it, every woman is going to be different. Like you said earlier, every woman is different. And then you also have to think with men. Vince said, well, let's talk about man fertility. I mean, I can bring up an extreme example. Richard Pryor did some things to Pam Grier, and then she became infertile because of his sperm. So men can cause infertility in a woman. Or the woman can be completely fertile, even if she's in her 30s, but it's the man and his diet and the way he's eating and some things he's got. So there's some issues there. There's some nuance there that I wasn't able to touch on, but I'm touching on very briefly here. And I'm going to try to know you. Now I want to wrap it up. I want to hear what Cole has to say on this
No,
topic.
I gotta throw another one up. Then we gotta get up out of here, man. This boy done got hot. All right, I gotta throw one little scenario. I'm gonna cut this short because I just need to see what y'all gonna say. So I'm gonna run this last one, and I want y'all to just keep it a buck with me.
Okay, so there's a debate going on my Facebook page right now. Somebody posted this meme.
So it says, quick question, ladies. The first date was amazing. Conversation was incredible. The drinks were flowing and the food was exquisite. The service was phenomenal. He's paying the bill, but asks you to cover the tip. How do you respond? I'm going to pay it, but that's going to be our last date. Here's why. I'm a logical thinker. I consider myself to be a pretty smart and intelligent human being. So to me, he's asking me to pay this tip and he's testing me. Don't test me, especially on a first date. We could have went somewhere free and walked up the river. We just had this conversation. We go where your pockets can afford. But you testing me on a first date, to me, says that you'll continue to test me in every category that you deem necessary in order to see what my character is instead of just getting to know me. I'm not okay with that. I'm the type of person who will pick up the whole tab after a couple of dates and or pick up the tip, whatever the case may be, but I am never doing this on a first date. Don't ask me out if you don't plan to court me properly. I'm okay. And this is not about cost. This is not about how much money he's spending on this date. This is about him testing me. Don't test me on the first date. You want to get to know me? Either wait it out to see what my character is like, or flat out ask me. Let's have grown-up conversations, but don't test me because it won't end there. But what y'all think about that?
Crazy.
All right. So I'm just curious. What do y'all say? What do y'all say to what she said? Do y'all agree? Y'all disagree? What's y'all position on what she said?
No, wait a minute, Vince. Wait, no, Vince. Let Joe go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh-oh.
That's the first. That's
crazy.
Oh my God! Listen, I'm gonna keep it short. People test people all the time. We do it consciously, unconsciously. Men know we get tested. I've had a woman. I've had a woman I dated purposely walk into a tree to see if I stopped her from walking into the tree. I just wanted to see if she was going to do it. Well, all right. I mean, weird, but whatever. If it matters to her, I've tested women. Is she going to be considerate of me? If I'm paying for all these things a day or whatever, yada, yada, is she going to pick up the tab? Do I even have to ask her to pick it up? Not the tab, but the tip. Do I even have to ask her to pick up the tip? Is she going to volunteer? That's going to tell me more about her character. If I have to ask you to do something, you probably don't really want to do it. But if I ask you to do it and you do it, at least you did it, and I give you points for that. That's a test. But it's something that I might not even be consciously thinking like I'm going to test her. No, it's just like, okay, if maybe I don't have it, or maybe I do got it. What does she think about me? Does she care enough to want to take care of the server? Does she have any respect for the server? It's like little things that we do. And women have their own ways of testing us too. How strong is he? You know, they look at certain things. Oh, I saw him do this. He can do 30 per hour counting. You know, but we don't know we're being tested. So it's like, it's only a problem if you know about it. But it's not a problem if you don't. And most of us, if we're smart, we're not going to tell the opposite sex, oh, yeah, I'm testing you. We're not going to let you in on it. We try to hide it, be a little discreet about it. And it's like, okay, yeah, she passed. Yeah, or no, she didn't pass. No, I had to strike that one off the list. So that's my thoughts about it. She's off a rocker.
Okay, appreciate that right there. All right, Vince, I know you was queued up. Go ahead, man. Oh, you dropped off? Okay, go ahead.
This is exactly what I be talking about, Chloe. But she'll hit the wall.
Oh my God!
She don't have no options. Everything was great, but he asked her for a tip. But now all of a sudden she feel, oh, I can get better. I can get somebody who gonna pay all the bill. He ain't gonna test me because I'm young but she'll hit the wall. And I'm still testing. I'm still testing my wife.
Aha.
We going to the store every day. I'm gonna test and see if she gonna go to the high rack or she gonna go slide to the clearance.
Yep. Little things like that.
I get it. I just don't understand. I mean, I don't agree with her, by the way. I agree with you. I actually don't think there's anything wrong with the man testing in that way. Because women test all the time. Joe already pointed to that. And we all test. Like, okay, go with me for a moment. I even think that when a woman says, when she says, well, man that says he wants to take me on a coffee date for the first date, or he wants to, do something like, meet up and have just drinks. It's giving broke. Just say you broke. And I'm like, wait a minute. that's a test. So you're basically weighing this man on the type of man that he is based off of where he wants to take you on a first date.
But you want to
That's
get to know
a
me.
test. Like you're literally casting a judgment on this man simply because he said, let's meet for coffee or let's just go have drinks, right? That doesn't mean he's broke. He might just actually want to put you in a casual setting where he can talk to you and get to know you before y'all go to a dinner and sit across from each other and be bored out your minds and have awkwardness because y'all don't even really have anything in common. Like, is it so wrong for him to want to just see if y'all even vibe before y'all get to the dinner or before y'all get, like, I feel like that's a test. Not only that, I know that this example I'm about to give is like, I know these are rich people, okay? But just let me drop this example because it's relevant. I remember a story that Grant Hill told about when he met Tamia and he went on a first date with her. Now, he's a basketball star. At the time, he was still in the prime of his career, and she was Tamia just coming up in the game. So now one of them was broke, right? But obviously his money was longer. So he takes her on this date, and it's their first date, and he pretends like he left his wallet. He forgot his wallet. And he did this to see what her attitude would be like because she'd have to pick up. He asked her, well, do you mind picking up the check? I forgot my wallet or whatever. And she said she did. And she said, don't get me wrong, I was like, kind of like, huh? You forgot your wallet. But okay, I got it, and she paid the tab. Now here they are, fast forward years later, and they're still married with kids. And I know these are celebrities, but I'm just simply making this point. Like, men will test you. This man didn't need to ask her to pay a bill. He clearly could pay this bill. This was about him trying to see what type of woman she is. And why wouldn't a man not want to know as much as he possibly could about you when he first meets you, right? Y'all keep talking about y'all want men to be intentional. Y'all keep saying that. So if a man is trying to kind of test the waters, kind of see what kind of vibe you got, see how you look at money, how you think of things, like how you consider maybe treating him, why wouldn't he do that if he's an intentional man? Why wouldn't he? I just don't get it. Like, why would you have a problem with a man showing his intentionality in that way? Why would you? Like, as a woman, you should be doing the same thing. I'm not saying playing little games, but if there's a question you can ask him, if there's a scenario you can provide him, if there's something that you can do to learn more about this man, why wouldn't you be doing that? I don't understand why we think this is a problem. She was wrong.
Okay, there it is. There it is. Anybody else want to say something? Just come. Let's see. Beatboxer, Cole. You should go ahead, Beatboxer.
Yeah.
Hold on, Yeshua. Hold on, Yeshua. Let me let Beatboxer go. Then we'll come to you, Yeshua. Go ahead, Beatboxer. Go ahead.
This is why Pornhub's winning.
Damn.
This is why some of this stuff is winning because this is insane. Women want courting in the when we're in in the times of women want to be equal. I don't get that. That in itself is weird to me. Like you want men to be old fashioned, but you can do whatever you want. I got a real problem with that. I really do. That really pisses me off. Especially when most of these women are virgins. How am I going to court a non-virgin? What are we talking about? So, and
wow.
And also, women test men all the time. They test them all. We get what guys call shit tests. We get it all the time. Some of them are insane tests. Like you're like, bruh, what do we do? Like my wife, when we started dating, I'm going to use my wife as an example. She would just talk about random stuff just to see if I would have just let her go. Yeah. She just talk about the country Mongolia, and I had to stop. I was like, honey, I love you, but please stop talking about Mongolia. Please stop. You're killing me. It's like, well, I just wanted to see if you love me enough to let me just talk. No, it's not about love. You're annoying the flip out of me. I had to say the flip. I said something else. Stop talking about that. If you want to talk about that, that's what guys make girlfriends for. Talk to them about Mongolia, not me. I don't care about Mongolia. I don't care about the people in Mongolia. I don't care about I don't care about none of that. So all I'm saying is this, ladies, y'all are not, listen, y'all, a lot of y'all gonna be single for real. If it's kind of over, I always say this, it's kind of over. You know, there's so many things to do. You saw Mr. Quay last week with his cigar. This. I mean, I'm trying to say, like, ladies, there's so many things that are out there that are better than y'all. I'm trying to tell you, it's cheaper, and there's women who will do things for free. So y'all keep playing.
Oh,
And
come on.
courting is for marriage, not for dating. So y'all need to stop using that. I want somebody to court me, and unless you want him to be your husband, stop even using that word, because people courted back in the day because they was dating one person at a time.
So it is
They
for
wasn't
that. So
dating 3-4 people.
So it is for you to find yours. So you're courting
Courting
when
is
you're
for
finding
marriage.
your. So you're getting to marriage, right?
No,
You're
no, no.
courting
Courting,
to.
no. Courting is for marriage. I've already decided, because I want to go into that, but courting is for marriage. It's
How do
not
you
for
court?
dating.
How do you court? Hold on a second.
People found somebody and said, "This is gonna be my wife." Period. They didn't do no whole lot of dating. People knew each other for 2 or 3 months and got married. They wasn't
Okay,
doing no whole
but
lot of
when you
dating.
first meet a person, I'm trying to walk this out. So when you very first meet a person, you're not gonna know the very first time you meet that person that they are your person until you have vetted them, right? I think for me, the difference in courting is the intentionality behind it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
If you're dating, there's no intentions there.
But that's
But
like, she
if you
wants a
have
man to pay for
intentions,
everything, take her
if your
here, take
intent,
her.
but if you
Yeah,
because your
yeah.
intentions, you have intentions for this person. So
Mm-hmm.
because you have intentions to marry, you don't know that this is actually going to be the person, but your intention is, I want to get married. So I think this person could be my wife or my husband. I'm not sure yet, but I think this person could be my wife or could be my husband. So I want to get to know this person to see if they're my wife or my husband. That's courting to me. That means you pick one person and you're like, yep, I think this could be the one. But how are you going to know it's the one if you don't? How do you know that up front the first time you meet them?
No, I'm not saying the first time. What I'm saying is most people are dating multiple people.
Right.
That's not courting.
I agree.
And men who want to get married and are intentional, they know very early on. You think it might take 4, 5, 6, 7 dates. It took me the second date, and that's just me. I know that's not, but most men I talk to, they be like, I knew that was my wife very early on. It didn't take no whole bunch of, they didn't take no Ruth's Chris dinner and going to Jamaica and the 6, 7 months. It took it very early on. So that's what I'm saying. So we need to stop using this courting and just say we're dating.
Because
Yeah.
dating isn't it root word of it? Well, I just found out dating actually stems from a form of prostitution. That's what it used to be associated with. That's just the truth. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. When
Well,
people
we
say
don't
I'm
want to
dating
say that,
around,
do we?
I'm
Look
horny around.
at
We don't want to
God.
say that,
Hey.
because all they
Yeah.
got to
So
say is I was forced for
yeah.
14 years and millions of dollars and
Yeah.
going back and forth.
Let me let Yeshua. I know you wanted to say something after B-Box. Go ahead, Yeshua. It's on you, man.
No, I wanted to say the tests or the tricks is what I call them tricks. I don't even call them tests. I call them tricks. I can tell you the tricks that I had to go through. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for me, in my experience, when women was testing me or testing me or trying to trick me, I dated a young lady one time, took her out. We did, whatever the case might be. And so she asked me on the first date, she said, well, she asked me, how do I feel about having sex on the first date? I'm like, what kind of question that to ask me on the first date, period? So I said, well, to be truthfully with you, it's better with someone that you care about. I said, I'm being honest. Now, so to make a long story short, that young lady never talked to me again. She never spoke to me again, wouldn't call me or nothing like that. I said, damn, shit. I said, now here I am trying to be the best that I can be. You know what I'm saying? And she gonna reverse that back on me like that I was wrong for not, I guess, trying to have sex with her. You see? I'm like, damn, you know? So that's the type of tricks and tests that that I saw. I mean, I spent 30 years in California. That's the worst place for a black man to look for a woman, period. California, Los
Okay.
Angeles. And people say it's a lot of women in love. Bro, it's the worst place, period. So, and it happened to me a couple of times like that. To take a young lady out, we out at a restaurant. She started telling me at the restaurant table, well, I don't need a man to change my tire. I don't need a man to, I'm independent on it. I'm like, really? I said, this is a date. I saw we doing eating food and then having a good conversation. Why are we talking about this? It's just a date. It's no pressure. I'm not asking you to go home with me. I'm not. She did the same thing. Next day she saw me. She walked right by me like she didn't know me. Then I asked her, I said, what are you doing on Saturday? Because I wasn't going to try it again with her. Let's take her to a movie or something. She said, I get off at 5 o'clock and kept walking. I said, damn. I mean, so what I'm saying, to make a long story short, man, I mean, I'm done. Seriously, I'm done. I'm finished. I'm tired. And I can't keep allowing the same women that I hear on social media talk bad about black men, but instead they do these things to men, and they wonder why men are so confused and screwed the hell up. You see? So on that note, as far as my personal experiences, I'm pretty much finished. Okay? And so, and that to protect my feelings and my health and my well-being. Because I look at some of these women like they're trying to kill me. Seriously. Trying to give me a heart attack, high blood pressure, hypertension. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how I deal with that, man. But yeah, testing, this thing called test or tricks, it's really out there. And but yeah, and that's how I deal with that. And I'll come on that's my experience.
So you deal with
I
it by
appreciate that.
avoiding women altogether? That's how you deal with it? Because I mean,
Say it again.
when it comes to, I said, so you deal with it essentially by avoiding women altogether. Just
I deal with not necessarily by but I deal with this by saying whatever happens now happens. I'm not trying to be. Look, I was raised a certain way, and I'm not going to change that. But one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to allow someone to destroy me. Okay, I'm not doing that. So I stay healthy, keep my well-being healthy, just by being just the way I am. Guard myself, keep myself up. Don't play any games. You let them know offhand. Look, I'm not playing. I don't have time for the tricks and the trade and all this stuff. Like a sister the other day, about a week ago, I asked her what was her name. She told me, she said, why you want to know my name? I'm like, what's wrong with common courtesy, dummy? So it's just those type of things, you know what I'm saying? So it's just weird, you know what I'm saying? But hey, man, so that's what I got to say with that, man.
Okay, no, I appreciate that right there. Go ahead, Coco.
I would just say this, like I respect your judgment call on this because your situation. I don't. But I would say I would encourage you not to give up on women so quickly because I think maybe unfortunately the women that you ran into, they weren't the women that you need. And so I would just say maybe don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. It's the same thing I'm saying about to women, right? Like, just because you've ran into a couple of dudes that are not the right guy, they're not the guy for whatever reason, don't give up because we do have to accept, and you talked about it earlier, Yeshua, like we do have to accept our part in how these things go, right? We can't just say, I met a man and he was horrible, and so I just give up on men. Like you gave that man your time and your attention. Maybe he just wasn't the right guy? Like, where was your discernment? Maybe like your discernment was off with this particular guy. Maybe with these women, your discernment was off a little bit, and that's why it went the way it went. So I would just say, yeah, like I wouldn't give up, but I respect your decision. But yeah, I'm not gonna tell anybody to give up on finding somebody if that's what they want.
Yeah, but you know, one thing, Chloe, what I want to say, one of the problems with that, and these women at the time were single with no children. The problem that I get with some of these sisters that when they have children, they want my time. When I have children, they want me to be serious about them. I'm like, no, sis, I'm not marrying you and your children. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. Go back to the dude that you laid with and you deal with him. I'm not here to I can't be rescuing you. No, that's not my style. I'm not doing that because I know for a fact if you didn't have those children, you would not consider me. See, if you had them children, you wouldn't care. But you got them children now, so now you want me to. Now you find the value in me. See, I'm not just the nice guy, or I'm too nice. I got that from a sister one time. She said, "You too nice." I said, "Here I go again, another dummy." So that's what I got to say about that.
Yeah, sure. Let me real quick. Let me just say this. I would strongly recommend taking a trip to Brazil. You know, you would benefit quite greatly from that experience, and I think it would change your mind real quick because I think you've been here a little bit too long, and I get
No,
it.
I've been to Brazil, brother. I've been to Brazil. Yes, I have 3 times. But that's why I said I'm finished. That's why I said I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
Brazil?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, let me understand something because y'all see, I was about to be done with this, but y'all just keep doing it, man. Why? Why is that always the solution? So why is the solution always to go to some other country? Why is the solution always like? Why is that always the solution? Like
they're nicer and hotter, Mr. Price. They're nicer and hotter.
No, but hold on. But okay, hold on. B-Box, I can understand that a woman in another demographic may be what you say nicer and hotter. I can understand that. But at some point, I'm just gonna be honest. At some point, as men, your first response it's gotta be you. Yep, at some point, you got to consider as a man, am I moving incorrectly? Yep, that's got to be your first thought as a man at some point. It can't always be some chick in Brazil, some chick in Thailand, some this and that. Because let me lay this out for y'all real quick, fellas. Let me lay this out. Women want resources. I don't care if she in Detroit. I don't care if she in Chicago. I don't care if she in Hawaii. I don't care if she in the Philippines and Mexico and Venezuela and nowhere else. They want resources and they gonna get them up off of you, fellas. They gonna get them up off of you. Yeah, they may give you a little piece of something, you know what I'm saying, make you feel better about it, but they gonna get them up off of you. We just gotta be honest about that thing. So you can run to whatever country you want. She gonna finesse you nice. She gonna slide it in there. But at the end of the day, she gonna get them bucks up out of you. And I don't care if they pesos, if they US dollars. I don't care if it's Bitcoin. She gonna Ethereum. She gonna get it up out of you. Trust and believe that. Yeah, so I'm not sure that just running. Hold on 1 sec. I'm not sure that just running to some other country is the solution. I said maybe we got to look at ourselves first and how we moving and who we dealing with. That may start the conversation for us as far as what changes as men we need to make. But I'm just not a firm believer that the first move is to run to some other country. Because at the end of the day, she wants the same thing that Keisha over there in Detroit, she want the same thing that Keisha want. She just gonna finesse you a little better. Yeah, she may put her little body together. She may cook you some little noodles and some shrimp fried rice to get it up out of you, but she gonna get it up out of you. So I'm just gonna put that on out there for all the fellas who run into these countries like that's the solution. Like she ain't gonna get that money up out of you and get that green card and whatever else she want up out of you. So we're just gonna go and keep it a buck. Go ahead, Yeshua. You want to respond to that? Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I do. No, what I want to say, arbitrarily, that's not the solution. Okay, just to get up and go to another country, that's not the solution. But like you said, the other part about resources, etc. Here in America, we talk about resources, black, whatever the case might be. Those resources are my resources, and on the first date or anything like that, if I decide to pay for that date, which I generally do because that's how I was raised, I generally pay for the date. Now, dudes tell me don't do that. Guys have told me, bro, I ain't paying for nothing. But I say no. If I'm taking a person on a date, I'm paying for it. Period. But my point is that a woman got to understand a man's resources, his home and all that stuff. If he had those things before he met you, those are his. They're not yours. I'm sorry, but those are his things that he worked for, that he built. He built his wealth for himself. Not in some cases, not necessarily for you. He built them for himself. He made himself feel better. Okay, so my point is that a woman needs to understand that those resources are his resources. Me going across seas over the, to bring down my blood pressure and all these things, all that has nothing to do with the fact that I'm dealing with American women. In Brazil or whatever, Colombia, those are different women over there. And well, you dealing with the other type of women opposed to just the regular type women, that's a whole different story. So I'm saying that and men generally, what I want to say, one of the important thing I want to say, men generally, they try to move according to how women say they want them to move. Let me break that down. If a woman saying that she's tired of meeting men who want sex on first date, some men are going to hear that and say, okay, let me try to change that pathology. He'll try to change that. He try to say, okay, I get it because he agrees with her. There's some doggish men out there. They dog. It's some men out there that are dogs.
That's
But I'm saying this, but some men would try to change that and not be that because that's not who he is anyway. You see, but then some women would throw that back at him as if to say, well, you should have been a dog. You'd have got further with me. You see, stuff like that.
Just be yourself, bro. You ain't got to
right,
do what
and that's my point. So when I'm being right, so I'm saying when I'm being myself, that's something that a lot of these sisters got to understand that all black men are not the same.
I think you're picking the wrong women, Yeshua. I think you're picking the wrong women.
Well, it's no such. Look, right woman, wrong woman. I mean, what's the right woman? Seriously, what's the right woman?
Not the one that you
You're playing the game wrong, man. You're being too nice.
You're messing up.
Okay, now I'm playing the game wrong. Okay, now I'm playing the game wrong. Okay, see, that's the confusion. That's the confusion that we have caused.
Let me get Cole in here. Let's say Cole been quiet. Let me get Cole in here. Cole, what you want to say? I saw you come off mute.
I just had a comment.
Go ahead.
If black woman is not your cup of tea, if American women are not your cup of tea, then maybe you should think about how you're commenting about this conversation, because that's what we're talking about. This comparison and all of this external outlier situations, all of that, that's not what we're talking about. We're trying to have a real conversation. So if that is your preference, enjoy that.
Okay, you gonna leave it just like that, Cole? You just gonna close it out like that?
I am.
Okay, there it is.
Until further notice.
Oh, hey man.
Okay. Well, let me say this right quick. Hey, can I respond to that?
Go ahead.
Well,
can close after that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well. First of all, black women are my preference. Okay, that's first of all. But if black women will understand first here in America that we do preference them, they should stop playing the games that they play. Okay, you can't preference a man and then play games with him. Because eventually he gonna stop. He gonna say, okay, this ain't working. Okay. So we gotta be for real. Black women need to be for real on how they choose to play games and tricks with these dudes. But especially somebody like me, who's generally just a nice guy anyway. Period. Ain't nothing thug about me. Nothing thug about me at all. Okay, I don't walk around with my chest stuck out.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish my point.
You're picking the wrong
keep you
thing.
100 on this post, bro.
No, but I'm keeping it 100. See, that's the. Hold on, bro. Let me finish.
I'm sorry.
I'm keeping it 100.
It's you. You 50-something years
Oh,
old
no.
with no
Okay,
kids.
hold on. See,
You a decent looking guy
okay.
from the thing. It's millions of women out here. You can't get one. You gotta do some inner reflection, bro.
Here we go again.
What?
Okay, this is my point
That's
again.
your life.
Hold on.
Your life.
I mean,
but you cut me off. But you cut me off.
It's in the conversation, though.
No, it's not in the conversation. It's not. Y'all do what most people, what the black collective normally do. They start reversing things on you. Start playing psychology. No, it's not that. If we would be honest with each other as black men, black women, a lot of relationship problems that we do have, we wouldn't even have them. We wouldn't.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God. Okay.
You're making me agree with Cole. I'm mad. You're making me agree with Cole. This never happened before.
That's never
happened. It's never happened.
Everything if you agree.
Has hell frozen over?
Yes.
Absolutely. You make it. Yeah, this is crazy.
Okay.
Dude, like Vince said, you're about to be 60. If every single black woman you met is a problem, it might be you, bro.
No, I didn't say every single black woman was the problem. I never said that. I gave you some examples. See, if you're listening, I gave examples of women who've been like kind of like. That's fine.
Single, right?
I can be single all I want.
Yes,
I choose to be that way. No, I choose to be that way.
Man, now you sound like the women.
I choose to be that way.
Which one is it? You choosing to be that way?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. No. Okay, hold on 1 second. I can choose as a man to be single.
Well, what you complaining
about
for?
there,
right, exactly.
Women.
You know what, Cole?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
But this is why. This is one reason why I say men deserve to have that ability
hard both
to
ways.
choose.
We ain't gonna sit up here
Okay.
with this foolishness. This foolishness.
Of course, and
yourself,
right.
You gotta look at
No.
yourself.
Hold on again, bro.
Get in the gym.
Bro. Okay.
Get
Go
your
on, bro, because
mind
you're not gonna
right.
let me
Get your
talk.
confidence
Go on, bro,
up.
because you're not gonna let me talk. And I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to argue with you, bro.
Not an argument.
I don't want to argue with you, bro. So stop it. Stop it, please. Stop it. Stop it. Go on to the next question, bro.
Okay. So I guess men can be delusional too.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
no. Oh, no. That's my segment. That is my segment. I can wait. I was writing my notes. You telling notes? I was writing my notes. I was so ready to say this. Y'all jumped down my throat. Ooh, God is so good. Amen.
God is so good.
You right today.
Last week, y'all
that's it.
tried to eat me up when I said men are delusional too. Oh, I was everything in the book. I was every name in the book. But this gonna be my closing argument right here. Hallelujah when he do it.
Right. But you see how quickly he admitted
when
it.
I told y'all that men were delusional, y'all had all kind of problems with that. But now, and this is no dig at Yeshua because you have made so many valid points tonight, okay? And I appreciate your perspective. But the fact that you guys are having a conversation, sure you don't agree, and that's fine. Y'all don't agree, that's cool. But it brought out the fact that there is delusional on the rise with men. It absolutely is. And for them to say that I didn't articulate my point, let me be so crystal clear then. Men are talking about how disrespectful women are, and I don't disagree. Women are getting on these platforms and they are being very disrespectful, petty, messy, catty, and nasty. They are. But men are getting on these platforms and they're also being petty, catty, nasty, and disrespectful as well. They absolutely are. But then they'll talk about the respect that they want a woman to give them. That's delusion, because we're not respecting each other at all on either side. There's no respect. Then we'll talk about the accountability and the lack of that, right? I read my notes, guys. The accountability and the lack of that, right? There is accountability that is not being had. We talk about women hitting the wall and we talk about women get to a certain point and they're just less desirable. And I'm not even saying I disagree with the concept. I understand where y'all going with this. I just don't agree with the way we're having the conversation. That was literally my only point. Okay. But let's talk about men. Men are making it to these big ages too. Men are making it to these big old ages. And they're not married either. And they don't have kids either. Now, there's a level of responsibility that comes along with that. They were just responsible enough to do their business and not have unwed babies out here. Okay, I'll give them that. But that does not prove that just because they didn't knock nobody up, that they fall in this category of men that are desirable. And you can say desirable for whatever reason you want to say it. Resources, looks, whatever you want to say. That does not automatically mean they fall in that category either. That does not mean that. So while we talk about women in this way, we have to understand there's a whole side to this for men. And we got to be honest, if we're going to have this conversation really and it be productive, we got to call the men out too. I'm not saying we can't call the women out. I'm not saying that. But we got to call both sides out so we can actually have the conversation and get to what went wrong between us, because that's a part of it. Another thing I'll say, and I stand on this, y'all are not going to want women, especially a woman that you're not sleeping with, that's not cooking for you, that's not your mama or your sister or your cousin or somebody you care about like that, to get on any of these platforms and tell you how to be a man and tell you what characteristics are manly. You're not going to be trying to hear that. You're not. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't be trying to hear that, because she don't got no business telling you that. She can share her preferences. Well, I like men that do this and I like men. Sure, she could do that. But she can't tell you how to be a man. So men getting on these platforms and telling women, and I don't care what y'all say, you can have all the preferences you want. But getting on these platforms and telling women they can't wear this and they can't wear that and they should be doing this and they shouldn't be doing that when it comes to their bodies is not going to go over well with women. It's not. Now, if you get with a woman and she's your woman, and then y'all have a conversation about how, babe, I actually really like how you wear your hair, you know, when you wear your hair, when you braid it or whatever your preference is for her. Now, that's a whole nother conversation, because now you're her man talking to her, not some random guy on the internet that's going on and on and on about something that she prefers for herself, that she don't even know and don't have no type of connection with. That's different. This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. If we can get to the point where we have the real conversations to where we can kind of bridge this gap, now you with a chick because her mind is right. Now you can have a conversation with her about her hair or her nails or her lashes. And she'll be more receptive to hear you because you're her man, not some random man going on off on the internet. This is what I was trying to say, but y'all don't want to hear it because it was proven in the comments. When a woman opened up her mouth, she get comments like the commenter that said, I'm annoying. Or the commenter that said, I can't speak on certain issues when this is literally a dating and relationship podcast. Y'all don't want to hear from me, even though what I'm saying is making perfect sense. And I'm actually not disrespecting y'all while I do it. I'm not calling y'all out y'all name. I haven't said anything mean, rude, or nasty to any of you guys. I've just been direct. That's it. But when I start opening up my mouth, this is what happens. So please miss me with this idea that it's all women. Miss me with this idea that women are the only ones that need to come to the table righteously. Miss me with this idea that y'all waiting on women to do something. Because there are women that's waiting too. We're waiting too. That's what we're wrong. And until we can figure out how to actually be able to have these conversations genuinely, honestly, with both sides willing to hold each other accountable, then we can start holding. Until you are actually actively fixing some of these very foundational things, then we can't get to, I don't want to hear about how men are improving. Y'all not improving where it matters. I don't want to hear about the prison rates. I love that for y'all. But that's not helping us bridge the gap between Black men and women. So until y'all can start working on some of these things, then you can't keep holding this stuff over our heads saying how much evolved you guys are as opposed to women. I land.
There it is. All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this on up. This got a little hot. I ain't mad at it. Like I said, the conversation needed to be had. Like I said, at the end of the day, y'all know how we get down on this platform. We run from no conversations. We gonna have it regardless of what it is, as long as it's gonna move us forward. Like I said, which I think that definitely took place tonight. Well, yeah, it was a little hot with it. We're gonna take some closing and we're gonna get on up out of here. So I'm gonna come across the top and the bottom and we gone. Let me just make sure ain't nobody down. Oh, that's JR down there. Okay, cool. So Coco, you up first. If you got anything additional you want to say, but we're gonna come across the top and the bottom and we're gonna wrap it up. Go ahead, Coco's on you.
I would just say that, y'all got to get out y'all feelings. This is a woman speaking to men. Y'all got to get out y'all feelings, right? Like, I spent years on this platform talking about how women treated men. And I still talk about how I don't agree with how women treat men. I still talk about that to this very day. But I'm starting to see, the longer I stay on this platform, that there's some things that men need to address too. So I said, you know what? I got to keep it honest. I'm not a panderer. So I got to talk to men too, right? From a female perspective, because I actually believe a female can have a perspective about male behavior. I can't tell you how to be a man, but I can certainly tell you how things are received by females when men do these things. So y'all got to get out y'all feelings. I'm not a wallflower. I'm not a shrieking violet. I'm not going to get on here and whisper to you. I'm not going to whisper sweet nothings in your ear. You're not my man. Okay? Y'all, when y'all get on here to talk to women, y'all not nice. Y'all don't talk pretty. Y'all don't talk soft. Y'all don't mix words. So why is it that when I get on here, because I'm a woman, I got to be soft and my voice got to be mild and I got to be quiet and I got to smile all the time and I got to have hair done, nails done, all of that. I'm not going to do that. Y'all said y'all wanted real rough, rugged, and raw. That's what you're going to get from me. Rough, rugged, and raw. So now if you can't handle that, that's not the platform for you. Respectfully.
Okay, appreciate that closeout right there. Big Boss, it's on you, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually going to add to what Coco's saying because there's a particular person in the comments.
Go ahead, call it out. Go ahead, call it out, man.
Benny, I got time, Benny. I got some time. That you've been hitting on Coco and you've been hitting on me too. So I got some time. I got some time today. The way you were commenting, I thought you were a woman. I thought you were a female. I really did. I thought the way you were like commenting, I thought, oh, you sound like a typical woman. So then you mentioned, oh, you dated white women before. I was like, oh, interesting.
He get more girls than you, bro.
Yeah,
he sounds like white women than you.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy to me. Like he's like, oh, my balls drop more than his balls drop more than mine. Listen, it's my response to the last video for you was indicative of white women love is crazy to me. I don't even know how that like went there. Yes, my wife, I am married and she's white and I've dated other races of women, not just white women. And I've also been with black women. I don't have a preference. My preference is hot and attractive. That's my preference. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm into. And then also I like women who are agreeable, right? That's just what I'm into. I'm sorry. I just happened to be a woman who was white in college. It just happened to be that way. But it looks like a white woman hurt you, Benny. Look like a little sucker for a white woman. She took advantage of you, and now you're mad. And maybe a black woman hurt you too. That's why you're mad at Coco. I don't know. I don't know. You're saying things like as Coco can't speak on it on things because it's not the right species. I'm like, who speaks like that? What are we doing? Like, that's what we're doing. You make black men look really bad. Listen. And I don't even know what else to say. And to Yeshua, my man, I'm sorry that we kind of ganged up on you. Like, I don't want you to feel bad about that, but I gotta say this as a younger black man who's a millennial. Like, at any time when if something keeps happening over and over and over and over and over and over again to you, it's probably you. I'm a firm believer of that. I really am. Like, if things just keep happening to you, it might be but you have to look inside. So, but yeah, Benny, I got time, my man. I have a feeling you're not married. I have a feeling you got some problems that's going on in your life. So do better, my man. Do better, nigga.
There it is. There it is.
Be back to a therapist now.
All right, Cole, it's on you. Cole, it's on you. You want to say anything before we get out of here tonight? Just come off mute. Go ahead.
Regarding the topic, like, where do things go wrong with black men and women? Just, I would say the respect, communication, and just overall willingness to work together are the three major things that I see. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's been a lot of talk about different aspects of it. Who was wrong on this side? Who was wrong on this side? But it's like, it's just to me, it's still a lot of arguing, and nobody is just like, you know what? I'm just gonna take the first step because nobody ain't taking it. That's what I don't hear.
Right.
That's what I don't hear. We'll see how the rest of the year play out, but that's what I hear right now, and it's rough.
Okay. You want to leave it like that? That's where you're leaving it?
And I will reiterate, if American and black women are not your preference, enjoy what you like. But primarily what we talk here when it comes to issues with women are typically American and black. And those are the specific situations that we're trying to address. Be with that, with you will.
Okay. There it is. Appreciate that closeout right there, Cole. Appreciate that. All right, Vince, it's on you, man. You want to say anything before we get out of here?
Well, first I want to apologize to Yeshua. How you pronounce his name? I'm sorry.
Yeshua.
Right. I'm sorry. I apologize, man. I didn't want to come at you, but I got to keep it 100. And I was single for a long time, man. I was divorced at 25, got married at 45. I had a bunch of bad relationships, but I had to look in the mirror and say, well, what am I doing? For me, it was being a cheater and a liar. That might not be your issue, probably not. But I had to understand, what am I doing? Well, I can't attract the type of woman that I want. And I also got into myself. I got into my body. I got into making myself a better person. And just do that. Just get into yourself. Get into your health. Get into your fitness. Get into your mind. You seem like you're, attractive guy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no kids. I mean, world is your oyster. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to encourage you also. But as far as what went wrong, everything went wrong. And I think until we decide to have these real conversations and understand that we need each other, it's not an option. It's not an option for us to be 70% unmarried. 80% of our homes headed by women. That's not that's not gonna be successful. So until we realize and understand that, we're not gonna change until we decide, you know what, we're gonna have to get this together. So I know we went long tonight, but I hope my brother come back and give his perspectives on some things. I hope this ain't a one-hit quitter.
Right.
But I'll let y'all go.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Appreciate that closeout, Vince. Yeah, no, I said, you know what I'm saying? It was not an attack, Yeshua, just to add some context. It was not an attack. So, but we'll leave that right there. You sure you want to say anything before we get out of here, brother?
Yeah. Thanks. I listened to the brother. You know, his apology accepted. I mean, it wasn't a big deal to me at all because I'm used to that. So that's not a big deal to me. But what I will say, that to the brother in the third, brother in the third brother, the tall, dark skinned brother, okay? Because that's generally what they're looking at today. So, but my point is that they hold on. Let me say this. There's nothing wrong with me. Okay, I mean, and that's the truth. There's nothing wrong with me. I be the best that I can be. I don't give a damn about anybody else. I don't. I be the best that I can be. I do what I do have to do to build myself, etc. And I keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Again, women have preferences and choices. Okay. And one thing I had to learn in life, that some women just are not going to choose you. Period. I don't care how nice you are, how good of a person you are. That's just not in them they just don't do that. I mean, just like some men don't choose certain women. So I had to realize that. Okay. So those experiences I did bring up. Those were just experiences that I was telling you about. Not the fact that this happened to me all the time. It doesn't. Okay. So that's what my point was, but I had to help break a pathology that Black men have here in this America. I had to help try to break this pathology that we got, and our pathology is really sometimes it's not good when it comes to women. I mean, again, so I try to break that. But again, man, I thank you for having me. Like I said, I caught the show on a humble, so I that's why I caught the show. I caught it on humble. I said, "Oh, okay, did they got a panel and everything? Let me see what they're talking about." So that's what I did. I jumped on the panel. I generally go on my own panel, no, not my panel, but there's another panel I go on. It's a conference call panel that we have. I'm generally on there, and them dudes over there at TRS, Target Room Solutions, them sisters and brothers, they know me very well. And so, but thank you for having me, bro. If I don't come back, don't take it. It's not a fact that people jump on me too at TRS. We always go at it over there. A lot worse than here. Okay, so but it doesn't mean I don't want to come back. Sometimes I just probably miss it. I probably don't know your channel or something like that. But thank you again, and I had fun.
Yeah. No, we appreciate you hopping on with us tonight, man. Like I said, we always on here every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on Kandid Konvos. But I will say this. A lot of what we have going on, I said, I'm really glad you came on, I said, because you shed some light on some particular issues that are going on out here. Let's say you're not the only brother dealing with some of the stuff that you brought up, right? But what I do want to say is this is gonna fall on the brothers. Let me just keep it honest. This is gonna fall on the men to correct this situation. Yeah, we are definitely divided from our women right now. We're not seeing eye to eye with our women, but the only people that's going to be able to fix this is going to be us. Yep, so I got to put it on the table just like that. I can't sugarcoat it. I can't make it sound better. It is what it is. Yeah, this is going to come down to the men, and the men are going to have to fix this situation. Yeah, I'm just going to be honest about that. The women ain't going to do it. Yeah, they ain't going to do it. I'm going to be honest. I don't even know if they can handle doing it. Yeah, but it's going to come down to the men, and we're going to have to fix this. So at the beginning of it all, this is why I asked the question, you know what I'm saying, earlier about fellas running to these other countries. That's not the solution. Yeah, we got to fix ourselves first. We got to get our mentals right so that we can fix this problem. Yeah, so running away is not going to fix it, because at the end of the day, it's going to touch you somewhere or another. It's going to touch you through your kids. It's going to touch you through your family somehow. It's going to get your niece. It's going to get your cousin. For some of us, it might get our mama, depending on if she's still out there. Like it's going to fall on the brothers to have to fix this issue. I'm just putting it out there because I know what it is. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it just like that. But I appreciate your close out, Yeshua. Hope you come back, you know what I'm saying, kick it with us again. Appreciate you coming on the panel tonight. All right, let me, who did I miss? We got JR. JR, man, what you want to say before we get out of here, man?
Dope conversation tonight. Obviously didn't really say much, but I listened, you know. Some good points were made and whatnot. But I do agree with a lot of points that was made. And like I always say, you know, black men and black women do need to come back together. Like, you know, it's been highlighted multiple times. And like the one key thing that was highlighted earlier was the hatred of black men from the hatred for black men from black women, right? And black men understand that. And Mr. Price just highlighted that it's on black men to, you know, lead this and try and fix this situation. And black men know this and we understand this. And like I always say, both people need to come back and sit down at the table, right? But the other side isn't open-minded to even attempt to try and have a conversation, you know, because I've always highlighted, you know, the fighting, the negative stuff that was caused previously. We don't want to go through that. We understand, and I've said it previously, right? Like you said, it's on the men to lead it, because I said it's the men that lost first. And then, of course, how can we then ask the women to come back round if we're the ones that allowed this to happen? So I do agree with that. But like I said, the younger generation, yeah, we have played a key part in, you know, the emotional side and all that stuff, you know. Yeah, because ain't nobody perfect. They've done it to us as well. But like I said, we are willing to give grace and we are willing to take accountability for what's happened and try and lead the charge. But the other side need to be open-minded to it. Because like I said, because the damage has been so severe, we're going to need assistance from both sides to actually get along. That's the first thing. Just get along. Have a conversation. Yes, we might be the ones that might not necessarily win, but let's try and create a pathway for the next generation to win. We've got to start being selfish. And I'll leave it there. Thank you.
That's real, man. That's real. Appreciate that closeout, JR. Joe, it's on you, man. And we go. What you want to say before we get out of here, man?
Yep. You said something about fixing ourselves. Well, you know, when I mentioned the Brazil comment, that was in jest. Um, Obviously, that is not the be all end all solution. Any man, you know, you take yourself everywhere you go, they say, and that there's some truth to that. But also, while y'all nodding y'all head, I'm about to say something y'all don't like. It can also be a solution. A man can find himself having developed himself, built himself up, and still not be treated the way he knows or feels like he's been developing himself until he goes outside of his immediate environment to see, oh, so my value is now being reflected accurately to me, back at me. There is cases where a man can build himself and do well and still be treated
Facts.
like dirt. And that man's mind can start thinking, well, maybe I got to work harder. Maybe I had to do more. I had to earn more money. I had to be more this. Until they go outside of their environment. It doesn't have to be a country, but it can just be a different city altogether. It's like, oh, so why is this different here? And but the women treat so that happens sometimes. Sometimes it is the man. Sometimes he just looks like shit, acts like shit, talks like shit, and he thinks that if he goes someplace else, he's going to get a different result, but he still gets shit. So it's just a situational type of deal. Lastly, we talk about this fixing of the community and fixing. It's interesting that the burden seems to be on the man to fix problems that, at least for me, I didn't start or I didn't cause. So I got my own issues to work out. The way I say, if I'm not being paid to solve someone else's problems, I'm not going to solve that problem because it's
Oh,
not my
come
problem to
on.
solve. Just because I look like a certain group of people, just because I have the same hairstyle, same texture, it's like, man, that's a lot of stress. That's a lot to put on someone and say, well, I caused this problem, now you fix it. Because you're the leader, you're the man, so you're supposed to do it because you look like us. So you wait. So you should be you should be working on yourself, and I should be inspired to want to step in and say, okay, I can see her making an effort to want to fix this problem. But if you're just saying, well, I caused these problems, I started a fire, now you build the house back up because you're supposed to lead the charge in that. Well, but you burnt the house down. So if you're not willing to provide the building materials to help me do that, you want me to do everything from buying to paying to the foundation to laying the concrete. That's not going to work for me. I'm just going to bounce because I built myself up. I solved my problems, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual things that Quay you just talked about that a man's supposed to do. I agree, but that doesn't mean that I have to stick around and fix a problem. This overwhelming problem that is not my responsibility. There's a lot of men that don't want to go to fight a white man's war because we don't want to deal with that shit. We didn't cause it. Yeah, you want the oil. You're going to get paid if we go out there risking our lives. Yeah, no, I'm cool. I'm good. I'll be a draft dodger. I'm cool because I want to go in here and live my life the way I want to live my life, and I'm not obligated to go and fight your war that you started. It's the same exact mindset. But if you can convince a man, and I'll leave it on this, if you can convince a man and a group of men that, hey, listen, you guys really need to do some things about these issues that we have in our community, and a lot of men are going, yeah, yeah, you know what? I think we should band together, and then they end up burning a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money trying to fix problems that they can't solve because the people that they're asking to solve these problems are still burning things down. It's like, wait a second, it's not. So it's got to be a two-way street. It can't just be put all on our backs and say we have to carry the burden of problems that we have had some issue that we have participated in, but a lot of issues that we did not participate in. So I'm gonna rock
Mm.
with that. Y'all have a great night. See y'all soon.
Okay, we appreciate it, Joe. Jay, hold on. I think JR want to respond to that. JR, I saw you coming off mute, man. You want to respond to Joe on his point?
Oh, I wasn't necessarily want to respond to Joe, but I just want to leave just a little thought, right, for the panel and the people watching, right? With what we know now, obviously, with the black race, right, and what's going on, etc., etc. Going back, I just want to ask a question. If we all went back to the beginning, right, but where we all started, before we got defeated, who was the strongest?
Men.
Right?
I would say probably men,
Men.
Yeah.
depending
So
on
we
the
say
situation.
so we say men, right? So we're looking at the land get invaded by mortal people, right? Because there's one army standing, right? So if that's like the thought process, where once upon a time we were standing tall and it took a lot of people to come and defeat us, just imagine if we could go back to that, if we actually go back together. And the reason I say that is sometimes I know that, when we watch films and whatnot, right, there's messages in certain things. And Black Panther, was a perfect example of that, of the unity in the land and people trying to invade. Yes, there's still going to be conflict within, right? And you got to resolve that no matter what. That's just how it goes. But when people are trying to come for you, you're going to stand tall, and both men and women are going to unite and work this out. And even though the man was the one that was standing tall and leading, it was still the women that the man would turn to and get advice from, because we value our women. Like I always say, we're not here to fight you. We're here to work with each other.
Okay. Appreciate that right there. Appreciate that.
Can I say something right quick?
Go ahead. I see it's
sorry.
about to get
I'm
hot.
sorry,
Go
man.
ahead.
I'm sorry, man. No, but no, I wanted to say to the to Chloe, disregard those comments in the chat. Believe me, don't worry about those comments. I mean, from what I'm saying, I think you, I know that you're very intelligent. You're a very nice looking sister, and just disregard those comments. You know, dudes are going to say dumb things. That's what they do. Okay, so but I would say to you, don't worry about what they're saying in the chat room about you. That's just that's irrelevant. I mean, don't even worry about that. That's what I want to say to you.
One
Thank
way
you.
of doing good is go have haters, man. So, no, I say go ahead, let them hate, because that
Yeah,
means she's doing something right. She got something to say, and they're listening. So if
yeah,
she's not getting no
yeah,
response or
yeah,
anything, whether it's positive or negative, then
yeah.
she's not doing something
Right.
right.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah.
All right. I
Hey,
think
at the
that was
end of the
everybody.
day, we ride for Chloe. Ain't nobody fucking with Chloe now.
That's right.
We'll have to find somebody.
Yeah. Mr. Price, let
Yeah.
me do one thing though. This I did say there's a comments, but there's a lot of Joes walking around. That's why I say it's kind of over. There's a lot of Joes who are saying, I didn't make this problem and I don't want to save y'all.
Yep.
So I don't
That's true.
know. And this is the thing. I'm very sympathetic to that thought process. I kind of am sympathetic to that. Like I understand it.
Mhm.
So I don't know as a community how we're going to get past this if there's a lot of men out here, especially young men, like, I don't want to fix it. What do we do?
I get that, but like Quay said though, and I listen, Joe can disagree with me. He has the right to do that. But I think Joe's opinion is going to change when he finds his lady and they have kids. And then he's thinking about what the future is going to look like for his children. Because at the end of the day, now I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But something in me tells me that when he finds his lady and he has kids and he's thinking about what the future is going to look like for his sons and daughters, that his opinion of this particular subject may change. But I get what you're saying, Boxer. Like for a young man, especially the generation, like the young generation coming through now, it's probably very little motivation for them to get involved in this fight because a lot of them may feel like it's not their fight. But like Quay was saying, this is going to affect you in one way, shape, or form. So if we could stop being selfish, like JR said, then we would understand that eventually this is going to catch up to, this is not going to, we're not going to continue. Like the fact, I think that this is one of the reasons why we're at the bottom. We want to put it on systemic. We want to put it on our history in this country. We want to put it on a lot of different things, but we never want to talk about what we're doing to each other as a community to keep each other down. Our community, it's proven. It's been proven that when we unite as a community, we can get a lot done. This has been proven time and time again. But we're so just separate now, and this chasm between us just has grown so much. And I think that's part of why we can't advance, we can't progress the way that we really could as a community. It is affecting us, and I don't think we realize that it's actually affecting us right now, but we don't think it is because we're on our own little bubble, and maybe the things for us is okay, or we're just satisfied at the moment, or we're content at the moment. But we don't understand that we keep having these conversations about why we're so behind as a community because we're not a community.
Yeah, but let me say this, and then we're gonna get on out of here. To the fellas out here, you can't pick and choose. Yeah, you can't pick and choose. So this is a boss leadership CEO conversation. If as a CEO coming into a company, you didn't cause whatever's going on in the company, but they bringing you in to fix it. Yeah, they bringing you in to fire who needs to be fired. They bringing you in to bring the company back to profitability. They bringing you in to clean up the nonsense and get them
We
back
gotta
in
be
the
everyone
game.
else.
And it's really that simple. Yep, and that mindset it exists within our lives. Yep, as a leader, you can't control what was going on before you got there, but you can control the outcome after you get there and after you leave. Yeah, but that's what this comes down to. Yeah, so if we want to call ourselves leaders, we want to call ourselves the boss, we want to call ourselves the CEO of the family and all of this stuff, then you got to take on that mentality. And we can't keep looking at what else going on and we ain't caused that and we ain't caused this. That don't mean nothing, because at the end of the day, all of that stuff that was caused is going to touch you at some point. That's the piece that we don't want to hold. Yeah, the nonsense that was going on is going to touch your life at some point. So yeah, we got to just keep it real. I said, if we want to move as the leaders and be the boss, and we want to be the person that everybody looking up to, you got to move as such. Yeah, the excuses, we got to throw them out the door. It's just that simple. Man, shout out to my panel, man. Shout out to Coco, Beatboxer, Joe, JR, Cole, Vince. Shout out to Yeshua joining us tonight. Appreciate you hopping on with us, brother, bringing your value add to the conversation, man. Great conversation, powerful conversation tonight. Got a little hot at its times, but that's okay. Yeah, that's all a part of having a conversation, man, and being productive. But we can do it respectfully. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to get nasty. Ain't nobody got to get disrespectful and do none of that nonsense. You can be grown about it and do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Get your point across, articulate yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. And we all for that on this platform, especially if it's going to move us in a better direction. And shout out to everybody in the comments as well. Folks dropping good gems tonight. You know what I'm saying? There was a little nonsense in the comments, but you know who you are. Yeah, you know who you are. It is what it is. It's engagement, so we'll take it. But, man, this is Kandid Konvos, man. We do this show every Wednesday night. We go live at 8:30 on YouTube and Facebook. So if you haven't already, smash that like button, smash that subscribe, man, and hit that share. So we want to get these conversations out to as many of our people as possible, man. Yeah, we want more folks to see the platform. Come check us out, join the conversation, bring their value add, and we move forward, man. That's what we do. But, man, with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. We're going to catch y'all next Wednesday.